Jimmy Graham and the Saints, they are ready for this game against the 49ers. How about the two leaders of these teams? They're ready too.
Can't nobody play the way we play when we own our game.
They don't respect us. Bottom line, you know how they're going to is we're hitting them in the mouth every play.
They don't stand a chance and we know it. Let's go. Let's go, man.
Oh, man, I'll get fired up listening to that. How about that, John Lynch?
Looks like we're going to have a brawl on our hands. I love it.
Drew Brees with the don't respect card. Patrick Willis, the bad news for the 49ers is he is not playing again today. Two tremendous coaches in this league. Jim Harbaugh in his fourth season. Sean Payton been here since 2006, and they have won an awful lot of football games. Harbaugh's Niners have been to the championship game 3 years in a row. Of course, Payton, the Super Bowl champ. And two teams that are 4-4 and really could use a win today, and especially the 49ers coming off the game that they just came off of.
There's no doubt about it. You know, the Saints were in a funk earlier. They've kind of found their way out of that funk. The 49ers very much in a funk, and they need this one desperately.
And there you see the difference. I mean, the winner today goes to 5-4, and the percentages are so vast, and that's why today is important, no doubt about it. Saints starting a stretch of 3 straight home games. They played 5 games already on the road, and that's good because, as you saw, they've won 11 straight here at the Superdome. The Niners won the coin toss, and they will defer. So Phil Dawson will kick it off to Travaris Cadet. San Francisco electing to put that defense, ranked second in the NFL, on the field first. And here we go. Cadet going to take it 5 yards deep and take it on out. Cadet, good return out across the 20, and he works his way out to almost the 24. And we will get a look at Drew Brees having another great year. 70% completion is actually best in the NFL. As a matter of fact, coming into today, John, he's the best completion percentage in league history right now.
Yeah, and he's looked like Drew Brees in the last couple of weeks. Early in the season, very Drew Brees-like, was turning the ball over with great frequency. They've gone back to extreme balance on offense, and it's helping Drew Brees out.
They have run the ball a lot the last 2 weeks. Mark Ingram, 54 carries the last 2 games. They fake it and will throw it here, and they get dropped by Kenny Stills. Saints have always been about the run, even though you don't think it because their passing numbers with Brees are so incredible. But, you know, when they won the Super Bowl, they were a good running team, and it seems like they're getting back to that.
They really are, and I think in a funny way, the best thing that happened to the Saints is that Kyrie Robinson and Pierre Thomas got hurt, because it made him put the onus on Mark Ingram, and he has taken it and run with it.
Here they're going to go empty backfield on a second down. Brees going to hit Jimmy Graham, who gets hit immediately by Chris Culliver. It'll bring up a third down and long. Well, there's a lot of key players out of this game. And 49ers defensively have done very well despite missing some monster players. Patrick Willis just can't get healthy with that toe. Bowman's been out the whole year, and so is Smith, but he'll be back next week. And so is Dorsey, who's been real good as a nose tackle for them last year. So all that, and Vic Fangio still getting it done.
I think that's really the top defensive coordinator in football right now. What he's done for this to be the second-rated unit in football, very impressive.
Jim Harbaugh sprinted down the sideline at the last moment to call a timeout. So he saw something in the formation that he didn't like. And the 49ers
First charge timeout.
call their first timeout. You hear the voice of Bill Vinovich. He's our referee today, and a good one. We've got a good crew for today's game. Interesting to use a timeout so early.
It looked as if the Niners had 12 on the field. There's Tremaine Brock going, or Chris Culliver, excuse me, going to run off the field, and Jim Harbaugh very alertly. You hate to waste a timeout like that, though, this early in this game.
They did. I counted real quick there. It was 12 on the field. And so he does burn an early timeout.
You know, Kevin, we saw the second-ranked unit, but what they're missing, Aldon Smith, Patrick Willis, Navarro Bowman, is the splash plays that can turn a game. You haven't seen a lot of that from this unit.
On this down, even though Brees has thrown some interceptions, the Saints have been terrific. Third in the league, converting nearly 52%. 3rd and 8. Brees going to come deep near side, and it's intercepted. Intercepted by Antoine Bethea, and he's got room. Tripped up inside the 20. That is a start that San Francisco desperately needed.
An outstanding play by Antoine Bethea. Watch him. He's in the slot against Marcus Colston. An outstanding break on the football. He goes and attacks it. That's just a great play by Bethea, who had an interception last week versus the Rams. Playing at a high level here of late. Drew Brees throws a football that Antoine Bethea says, thank you very much.
The third interception of the year for Antoine Bethea, the free agent that came over from Indianapolis, and that is a big, as you said, John, splash play to start. Here comes Colin Kaepernick, and they start this possession on the Saints' 19th. They'll give to Gore, and Gore has a good run on first down. So Kaepernick, the last 3 games, we get a flag too on this play, back behind the Saints defensive line. Vinovich in his 9th year.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense number 98. After this is the goal. Automatic first down.
It's on the ex-49er, Paris Harrelson. I'm starting to tell you about Kaepernick, who, you know, you looked, John, we talked about this. You looked at his numbers last week, and they weren't bad, but probably could have played a little bit better.
He needs to play better. He does, flat and simple. They had 8 sacks, and everyone points to the O-line. Many of those were Colin Kaepernick. He needs to get the ball out of his hand. I think they can help him by allowing him to use his legs in this game.
After a penalty, it's a 1st and goal. And they're going to run it again. Up the gut is Gore inside the 5. And that is a theme, too, for these 49ers. Getting back to the run game. It's the last play of the penalty that made it a 1st and goal. Getting Gore is Kenny Vaccaro. Rob Ryan looks like he's getting ready to play this down too. His defense has been much better the last 2 games. Second and goal. Run it again. Frank Gore. Touchdown 49ers. What a start for San Francisco.
Kevin, it couldn't have gone any better. They would have scripted it like this. An early turnover and a lot of Frank Gore. I said it in the open. When you're struggling, when you have your backs up against the wall, give it to your best players. And that's exactly what Frank Gore, even at 31 years old, is. A little zone read that they show in this series. The threat of Kaepernick running the football. Vernon Davis just leads him wide open into the end zone. Outstanding vision by Frank Gore, and walks in unimpeded.
So Frank Gore, who has had less than 50 yards each of the last week, which is just unheard of for him and for this 49ers team. Already 3 carries, 12 yards, and a touchdown. Clearly the mindset is changed. Phil Dawson, the extra point, and it's 7-0 San Francisco. 2 minutes into the game here in New Orleans. The defense, the interception from Bethea on a 3rd down play, a good return, and then Frank Gore, the finisher. 7-0 San Francisco in the 1st.
Today's game is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com.
When you think of the 49ers, you think that they're a running team, right? Patted down your throat, John. That's the first rushing touchdown in 337 minutes of football.
The 49ers?
Yeah.
Unbelievable. And, you know, in the red zone, give it to 21. It makes you look real smart. Guy can play. Sometimes you get enamored with how old they are. This guy shows no signs of slowing down.
Dawson's kickoff taken by Goodell will bring it out again after a good first return. This one solid too across the 20 up to the 23. Corey Lemonier out on the stop, and so now it's Drees. I mean, you talked about the start for the Niners. Literally everything that has ailed them in the last few weeks they did in a span of 2 minutes.
No, it's really good. I mean, the one thing, this is a team defensively, they've been good yardage-wise, but those splash plays haven't been there. A lot of their great players, but they just offered them that. They get it back to their offense. A lot of Frank Gore and that offensive line that struggled so mightily. What do they want to do? They want to run the football to help bail them out of the conundrum they're in.
You had pointed out they've been awful in the red zone for that as they give up the middle to Ingram. Chris Borland made the tackle. Borland filling in for Patrick Willis, who's out again. He just can't get that toe healthy, but The rookie had 18 tackles in the game last week.
He was all over the field. Incredible effort by Chris Borland, and you still feel like you miss Patrick Willis. Just the presence. We saw him. He is the leader. He's the heart and soul of this team in many ways.
Run it again. And you go to the 30. Be a third down and about 4. A lot of big names out of this game. We showed you some of them from the 49ers defense, and included on that last graphic was some of the guys have been out for the year, but they're missing 2 more linebackers today, Starter and Scuda, and then Willis. And then the Saints, they use all their running backs. Thomas and Robinson out, and their starting inside linebacker David Hawthorne is out as well. Meacham doesn't play all that much at wide receiver. So there are some big names out, as you would expect when you get to week 10. Third down for New Orleans. Brandon Cooks, the rookie, number 10 in motion. He's had a good year, and Breeze looks to him. Incomplete. They could not connect. It was Tremaine Brock on the coverage, and a 3-and-out for the Saints.
Real nice job by Tremaine Brock playing the sticks. And that's something that's hard to do against the Saints because they're a little uncharacteristic that they don't always play to the sticks on third down. Tremaine Brock sees it, goes, attacks it. Turnover, 3-and-out for the Saints offense to start the game.
Thomas Morstead will punt it away. That is an incredible stat. 3.6 yards allowed. Morstead has had a great year punting too. Over 42 on the net average, 3rd in the NFL. And here another beauty of a kick, but it is returnable. Ellington, what a tackle. Looked like he had some room, but Vinny Sunseri came down and wrapped him up. And the 49ers will take over on their own 21-yard line. With this man, Frank Gore. Good start for him with a touchdown already. 7-0 San Francisco. They do it a little differently in New Orleans, John. And first time I'm calling a game here, this place is fun.
It's a great environment down here.
And they're into it now. 7-0 49ers after the turnover and the Frank Gore touchdown, but they start this drive on their own 21. Anquan Boldin in motion, number 81, and here is Gore again. Gore right up the gut, and a first down. So the 49ers have had 4 plays, and they've run all 4 to Frank Gore. You think they've changed their minds on what they want to do offensively?
All the guy does is get you yards, productive yards, and he's the kind of player that lifts an entire team, not just the offense, the defense. He lifts everybody's spirits. I played with the guy in Tampa, Mike Allstott. We all wanted to watch him run someone over. That's Frank Gore. That's what he brings to this 49ers team.
And the 49ers change up, and they put Gore back in the eye. Vance McDonald, tight end, had a good block on that last play. Why not another run to Gore? This time the Saints are ready. Ramon Humber getting the start for David Hawthorne today on the tackle.
That's their patented play, that power O, and they've run it a lot. Roman Humber says, enough of this. I'm going to get in your backfield. Nice play by Roman Humber.
49ers, a lot of talk about getting back to their identity, who they are, running the football. Well, they're doing it so far. Kaepernick blocked up, gonna throw it for Boldin, couldn't make the play. Good coverage by Corey White. He was all over Anquan Boldin.
You'll see this. Rob Ryan is an aggressive defensive coordinator. He's going to put these corners on that proverbial island a lot. I like the fact that the Niners challenge him, and an excellent play by Corey White, who's been playing very nice football of late.
He's had an interception in each of the last 2 weeks. So now a 3rd down and 10. Four-man rush. Kaepernick steps up, fires a bullet. It's caught by Boldin and a first down. Anquan Boldin picks up 13 and he moves the chains.
Kevin, I talked in the open. You feed your best players when you're struggling. We've seen a lot of Frank Gore, and we've seen Colin Kaepernick relying on Anquan Boldin, a money player. Sees a little seam, gets it in there. Anquan Boldin's going to deliver for you. Excellent throw, excellent execution, and the protection, Kevin. We've seen all the sacks last two weeks. The protection looked great right there.
So a first down for San Francisco. Run it again. It's Frank Gore. Again, good room for Gore. He's up to midfield. He's got 5. This offensive line, which has been so good and so consistent the last 2 weeks, has just fallen apart. I mean, you see 13 sacks the first 6 games. They've let up 14 sacks the last 2 games, which is an unbelievable number.
They have, and you know, not all of it's on this offensive line. As I went back and watched the film, I think the plan, Greg Roman acknowledged that. He said, it starts with me. I need to do a better job of helping Colin. Colin's got to get the ball out. They got to have more answers for him. It starts with me, said Greg Roman, and I like the plan thus far.
Second down and 5. Blitz blocked up. Kaepernick going far side, incomplete. Look at Vernon Davis over there. 49ers would love to get him going. He's had a quiet season. Well, John, the Saints have won their last 2 games, and there's been a lot of things that have worked in doing so, but clearly the defense has amped it up.
Well, we saw them week 1 in Atlanta, and I was really excited about this defense. Number 2 in the league last year. It just couldn't have started worse for them. They were god-awful early in the year. They've gotten back to basics under Rob Ryan. This front is getting after it. Keenan Lewis, their cornerback, playing better than anybody in the league at his position.
Look at this defensive lineup. What do you call that? Play clock at 3. Pressure picked up. Kaepernick's going to run it. And Kaepernick has a first and more. Colin Kaepernick tucking away. And he's all the way down to the 31-yard line. It's a run of 19 and another first down.
There's that other element. You want him to take that next step as a pocket passer. You work on it constantly, but you can't take this out of his game because it is such a tough asset for a defense to deal with. You can't account for him. He sees the seam. I like it. Taking off and running, and he's a tremendous athlete, and he uses it there.
Where has this been for San Francisco? This looks like the team that you're used to seeing, just in play calling alone. And it's working early. Another first and another run to Gore. Bounces off the initial tackle, but then he had no shot. Ramon Humber was there to clean it up. And Gore's going to lose 1.5 yards. I think it was Gillette who actually blew up that play.
And what you get when you continue to run the football, we're seeing a lot of aggressive defense now. You suck a defense up, that opens up the opportunities in the pass game. But the Saints and Rob Ryan very comfortable with Corey White and Keenan Lewis outside. He'll put them in tough situations all day, and they've responded tremendously of late.
Frank Gore has 7 carries here in the first quarter. 26 yards and a touchdown. He actually lost 2 on that play. Kaepernick looked over the middle, not there. Then it comes back to Vernon Davis. Nice little spin move. And Davis is going to get it down to the 25. He's going to pick up 8. John, I'd really like to get Vernon Davis going. He's had some injuries, but, I mean, here we are at the midpoint of the year. He's got 161 yards, and he missed 2 games, but he hasn't been right. That's the thing.
He hasn't been right, and I think a lot of it, they got a lot of new toys. They got Brandon Lloyd. They get Stevie Johnson. Well, everyone needs to be fed, and you can't forget about an all-pro tight end. We see guys like Jimmy Graham throughout this league just wreaking havoc, and Vernon Davis has that in him. They're aware of it. They know they need to get him involved.
2 third-down conversions on this drive for San Francisco. 3rd and 4. 4-man rush. Kaepernick has another completion. It's to Crabtree, and it's another first down. They're inside the 20.
The much maligned offensive line has been excellent thus far. Look at this. This is just a pretty pocket. You've got that cup that you want, the ability for Kaepernick to step up. And when Colin Kaepernick has that time, he can keep his eyes downfield. Last week, he spent the entire game with his eyes on the rush because he got spooked early in that game. Today, not so.
Remember last week, and Frank Gore wasn't in on the final drive. He's been in on every snap of the game so far. He gets his 8th carry here. And he's going to hustle up the middle for a couple of yards. Here in the red zone, the 49ers have been deplorable on the year. They're scoring touchdowns only 40% of the time. That's the worst in the NFL. Why do you think that is?
I think they've been doing a lot. They're very creative. Greg Roman, one of the most creative offensive schemes in the league. And you want to do so much. They throw so much at you. Sometimes you got to go back to Old Faithful. We saw it in that first series, and Greg Roman told us we would. He said we've got to get back to the basics in the red zone. And I think we've seen it thus far.
Of course, they are 1 for 1 in the red zone today. And there's some movement. Not sure who prompted it. Anquan Boldin says it's on New Orleans. Might have been John Jenkins, number 92. But I'll let trusty Bill Vinovich tell us that.
Encroachment. Defense number 92. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
Bill just wanted to make me look good there, Johnny.
But you can't miss him. Big old John Jenkins right over the center. The silent count, the mechanics, and sometimes defensive linemen like Jenkins think they've got a beat on that silent count. The Niners and the rookie center Marcus Martin doing a nice job of changing that look up, changing the tempo to the snaps up.
49ers go with a big formation here. They're going to run it with Gould. And Frank breaks off the initial tackle and falls forward for a first down.
Kevin, you mentioned falling forward. That's what Frank Gore does. He gets small behind those gargantuan offensive line. He runs into what looks like not a whole lot, but he stays patient. His vision sees the cutback hole, and then he falls forward. They're running behind that left side. Staley, Upati, going to their best players, to their money players when they need it.
Carlos Hyde checks into the game at running back for the first time. A rookie out of Ohio State would get the toss. And Hyde, good cutback, still on his feet. Touchdown, San Francisco. 9-yard run for Carlos Hyde, his third score of the year, and it's 13-0.
Well, I'd say this is back to the basics, back to 49er football. Watch Joe Staley, the left tackle. He's going to get out in front, pull, he kicks back and seals. Bruce Miller, the fullback, gets the defender on the ground, and Carlos Hyde does the rest. We're seeing power O. We're seeing Packer sweep. Old school football by the 49ers paying off.
This is some impressive start by the 49ers. Dawson, extra point up and good. I think in a week where people were questioning whether they were about to hit the iceberg with the Titanic, they have made a pretty strong statement. No rushing touchdowns the last 5 games, 2 in the first quarter. And it's 14-0 behind that power running game. San Francisco. If you like architecture, this is a great place to come. Just walk around New Orleans. So far, it's been a heck of a trip for the 49ers, who came in, I used this last week, they came in discombobulated. They did. And they look like they're trying to fix things. I mean, GM Trent Baalke said on a radio show that things did look a little broken. Well, they don't look it today. And now, how will the Saints answer after taking an uppercut to the chin? Cadets on the return. Travaris Cadet hit a few good returns today. And this one is going to work out to the 24-yard line. What a start for the 49ers. Kaepernick and Hyde has them up by 2 touchdowns. John, we had a discussion during the break. We were trying to determine what a word is.
Well, I was just musing while you were talking about the 49ers prior to this game being discombobulated. Are they now combobulated?
I don't know, but I'd like to think they are.
Just made a word up.
I like the word. Now the Saints, see how they respond. Down 14 in a building where they've been dominant, winners of 11 in a row. And they're sticking with the run. You know, it's interesting, too, because Sean Payton, you know, they've committed to the run the last couple of weeks. And he said, hey, you got to stay with it. It's going to be ugly at times. It's 14-0 in LA. You still have to stay with that
Absolutely.
theme?
You got to stay with your plan. Sean Payton talked about it. There's going to be some bloody runs. It's not going to be all pretty against this defense. Drew Brees said it very eloquently. You got to play long against the San Francisco 49ers.
2nd and 7. Saints will take a first down at this point. Brees looking, had nothing, incomplete. So a rocky start for New Orleans. Let's go down the sidelines with our Pam Oliver.
Well, Kevin, the Saints down here, I've been watching them on the bench. They are calm, very businesslike. The 49ers off to a great start. Them, not so much. Remember, this is a veteran team with a lot of leaders. They're keeping everybody together. Remember, they are calm and confident, and nobody is panicking. Back to you.
Well, they do average 34 points a game in this dome. That's probably part of the reason for it. A 3rd down and 7 here. Looking for their first down.
Ready? Easy, easy.
And movement. Looks like the Saints may have jumped.
False start. Offense number 55. 5-yard penalty. Still third down.
So you see Jonathan Goodwin, the center, with a little flinch before he snaps it. And, you know, what's really interesting, very on Saints, like the third least penalized team in the league coming in, it was the Niners, who are the most penalized now. 3 penalties for the Saints, 0 for the 49ers. So everything going the 49ers way early.
Goodwin had missed the last couple games, too, with knee and ankle injuries. Tim Lelito has started, so this is his first game back. Third and long. Breeze gets hit, delivers one long for Cooks. Great adjustment. Brandon Cooks gets the crowd back alive. Coverage by Brock, but Cooks really made the play by adjusting to that ball. It's a gain of 35.
Well, Drew Brees throws the long ball as well as anyone in this league, and a lot of it is because of the precision of the routes of these receivers. This is a rookie, Brandon Cooks, but did you see the patience in that route? They have a wonderful wide receiver coach who was an incredible player, Henry Ellard, and this is the most well-schooled unit I see across the league at any position. Henry Ellard doing one heck of a job with these young receivers.
And the first down comes on a 35-yard pass play and a 1st and 10 at the San Francisco 38. Breeze, pressure up the gut, in trouble, just going to throw it away. We've got our first game break of the day. Let's check in with Joel Klatt.
All right, Kevin, let's go to Detroit. Brandon Cooks, a deep pass there in New Orleans, and Megatron, after missing 3 games, he gets the 49-yard bomb from Stafford. The Lions up on Miami, 10-0 in Detroit. Back to New Orleans. Kevin, John, and Pam.
Man, he stinks, John.
He's back.
He's no good. Anyway, give credit, when he was out, Golden Tate had 24 catches for 349 yards in 3 games, so they did it without him, but glad to have him back as Ingram gets the carry on 2nd down.
Kevin, you see Sean Payton continuing to stay with this run, and they are. The bloody runs, it's tough. You got Justin Smith, you got this 3-4 traditional 3-4 defense, very Bill Parcells, Bill Belichick-like with the New York Giants, New England Patriots. It's tough to run against them, but you have to. Sean Payton said hopefully those 2- and 3-yarders in the second half become 8-yarders.
He had a great line. He said it's like hitting a rock with a sledgehammer. Has no chance to break if you stop hitting it, which I thought was great. 3rd down. Breeze. And what a catch by Colston. Juggling, corralling, and moving the chains. He had Parrish Cox in there with great coverage, but he held on.
And this is the subtlety of Drew Brees' game. Watch him buy time by stepping up in the pocket, and Marcus Colston comes across well covered as you can be, gets his left hand, does everything right, but Marcus Colston, done this a long time and done it at a high level, hangs on to that football. What concentration by Colston.
That is tremendous. 1st and 10 at the 23. They fake to Ingram. Breeze. Smith with the pressure. Steps away and incomplete. Had time initially, but then Justin Smith came on in to blow that thing up. Jim Harbaugh said something last week that made me laugh about Smith, but first the play.
Well, check this out. Little double coverage. Underneath coverage by Culliver. Bethea all over Jimmy Graham. They know how vital he is, particularly at this part of the field, down near the end zone. They're going to give Jimmy Graham a ton of attention.
Harbaugh says to us last week, when Justin Smith walks by a mirror, the mirror says, Justin Smith, football player. I mean, it was hilarious. Ingram again, and there's Borland to make a tackle after a short gain. You know, Borland's an interesting guy, you know, rookie that was taken out of Wisconsin in the 3rd round. John, this is a guy that had 2 labrum surgeries on his left shoulder, played his freshman year through it, and then had right torn labrum surgery coming out of college. I mean, that's pretty tough.
It's a lot of labrums.
Yeah.
And all he does is make tackles, and that's why those labrums have been. But he is, Sean Payton said it best, he's a tackling Jesse. He is all over the field each and every game. Doesn't fit the profile of a San Fran linebacker, a little smaller, but boy, does he play.
3rd down, Cadet gets belted by Borland. What a play that was on a 3rd down. You just saw the guys he's replacing in Willis and Bowman, but Borland made it work.
You watch Borland. He's going to be eyes all over the field on Breeze, the good break and the solid tackle. He just has tremendous instincts for the game of football.
So a good drive for New Orleans to get something going for the first time today. And now it'll be a 40-yard field goal attempt from Shane Graham. He's had a good year, 13 of 14 on the season. Luke McCown, who's the backup quarterback, will hold. Graham is perfect, and the Saints are on the board. They needed that. Put together a nice drive, and they get a field goal to get on the board. Last seconds of the first quarter. It's 14-3, San Francisco. Drew Brees talking with Sean Payton. They needed that. They were about to go 3 and out again, but Brandon Cooks with a big 35-yard catch on third down ended up getting a field goal, and so it's 14-3, the final seconds of the first quarter here from the Superdome. Bruce Ellington, number 10, back to return it. Morstead, the punter, who kicks off and is a good one at kicking off. Ellington returnable if he wants it. He'll take it. Oh, nice move, but still corralled well short of the 20 by Josh Hill. That'll take us to the end of the first quarter. It was a quarter for the 49ers. The big play from Bethea, the running game getting going. And it's 14-3, San Francisco. Slight improvement from the 49ers run game. 80 yards in the loss to the Rams last week. 60 yards already through one quarter this week. Greg Roman, the offensive coordinator, was so feisty in our meeting yesterday. You could tell he was ready to get this game going. I think he was ready to play. He had a lot of personal blame for himself too. He said, "Hey, it's on me. I got to do a better job." And they are running the ball effectively. Frank Gore gets it again, and he's out near another first down.
As I said earlier, they're doing it behind this left side. Staley, Upati, those big boys letting them block down, and then Miller doing an outstanding job as that fullback. Creating the holes in just a little bit of space is all Frank Gore needs, and he will fall forward.
10 carries, 41 yards for Frank Gore. And again, San Francisco just with one wideout as they go with the jumbo formation. It's Vance McDonald, backup tight end in motion. They get to Miller, the up back, and he has got a first down. Well, Gore is really, I think, the heart and soul of this 49ers team. And you talk about this is so weird. Where's the gold rush? 5 straight games without a rushing touchdown coming in. See why it's important. 150 yards rushing, they don't lose. Fewer than that, oh, they're kind of an average team. And when Frank Gore under Jim Harbaugh has 100 or more, they have not lost a game.
It's pretty obvious. Yeah. Give it to 21, and I know the games dictate some of that, but the guy can play and play at a very high level.
Kaepernick going for Bolden. He's got it. And there's a penalty to boot. And Quan Bolden has it, and it might be on him. It is. The indication it's a push-off on Bolden. Corey White on the coverage.
Well, this is what running the football does.
Offense number 81. 10-yard penalty. Deep first down.
That's a tough one.
That is very tough. I mean, some contact there, but that's not one that is typically called. But what's good for the 49ers is they're getting these one-on-one situations. You see him extend the arm, but that usually goes uncalled. The official called it. The positive thing, though, is throwing the football downfield. They're going to have those one-on-one. Mike Pereira actually called in and said, good call. So I just played DB.
I think on that last one, you see a little bit of a shove, and White kind of veered to the right. So you can certainly see why they called that. Here's Gore again on the run. And the Saints played it well there on that first down and long. Raphael Bush came on to make the play.
He's a good player. He really is. They lost Jarris Byrd, a highly sought-after free agent, but there was no panic in the Saints building. They were excited about Byrd and his ability to make plays, but they knew they had a really good player in Raphael Bush. They liked him so much last year. We saw him in a lot of 3 safety looks because they wanted him on the field.
He hits people, that's for sure, and he's got good numbers too. Carlos Hyde in the game of running back, his second snap of the day. His first one was a touchdown run. 4-man rush again. Kaepernick Looking, throwing, Bolden, good adjustment, and Bolden's got it. And now the ball came loose, and he couldn't contain. Keenan Lewis, who is one of the best quarterbacks in the league that no one talks about, was there to help make that play.
Well, that's just playing to the end of the snap by Keenan Lewis. It looks like Anquan Bolden has a catch. He continues to fight and gets that ball out. Tough to do against Anquan Bolden. You say one of the best corner. I think no one's playing better at that position in the league than Keenan Lewis.
Really? 49ers need to get to the 38 on 3rd down. Kaepernick keeping, and the Saints had it played very, very well. Patrick Robinson did not fall for that at all, and they'll have to punt it away.
That's a big stop. You get some points on the board. You didn't get the touchdown you wanted, but you got some points, and you needed to follow that up with the stop. The Saints defense delivers.
Brandon Cooks has not had a great year returning punts, but he certainly has the ability to do it. Andy Lee. It's a short one. So Andy Lee, who had a bad punt that hurt them last week, a 23-yarder late, did not to his best here, and the Saints have good field position. Why not send out one of the best in the game? Drew Brees, and the Saints down 14-3. We're coming back.
A's Game on Fox is sponsored by Chevrolet. Find new roads. By Burger King. For a limited time, get 10 chicken nuggets for just $1.49. And by Exodus Gods and Kings, December 12th, only in theaters.
Well, during the break, Colin Kaepernick and Anquan Bolden talking, and they're usually such a good connection, but pass interference play, and then Bolden got the next one knocked away. And a big stop for the Saints defense. They trail at 14-3 and have good field position on their own 40. They'll run it to Ingram. And Mark Ingram's going to have about a 5-yard gain on 1st down. So clearly the Saints sticking with the run too. And Drew Brees was telling us something interesting today about the philosophy against these 49ers.
Well, because he's played the 49ers well. Not a lot of people have had success over the years. He has. He says the philosophy, you just have to play long. You got to play smart, exact, and you can't get frustrated. 2 to 3 yards is a good run. It's okay to punt. And so that's kind of how this thing's played out. He didn't talk about the turnover, which he had early, but you can see that. They're just sticking with their plan.
Good throw, Jimmy Graham after the tackle by Bethea. But Jimmy Graham's first catch of the day. And it moves the chains for the Saints. It's a 9-yard pickup.
Such a fabulous player, Jimmy Graham, and Drew Brees loves throwing to him. Takes the hit from Bethea. That's what the Niners do so well. You may catch it. They're going to stop you in your tracks, though.
Correct myself. That's his 2nd catch of the day, John. Forgot the first. First one was for 2 yards. So they get Graham involved. And a 1st down for the Saints. They go with a bigger formation. They're going to run it again to Ingram. Good looking run and a good hole. And Mark Ingram is near a 1st down. Good block by Benjamin Watson. We've got a game break with Joe Klatt.
All right, Kevin, let's go out to London. Down 7-3, Dallas punts the ball away. Ace Sanders muffs the punt. Dallas recovers. In the ensuing possession, Tony Romo, best case scenario, guys, not on the field for long with that back injury, finds Jason Witten. Boys up 10-7. Back to New Orleans, Kevin, John, and Pam.
Joel, impeccable use of the 2 highlight update there. That was good stuff. Klatt is talented, man. Let me tell you. So is Tony Romo. So the Cowboys up there, 49ers up here, and here is Ingram moving the chain. So the Saints, we talked about the 49ers sticking with the run, and Mark Ingram in a 4-day span, John, had 54 carries. They played on Sunday night and then on Thursday night. And he's already got 8 carries for 35 yards.
And I think it's just what Mark Ingram needed. He's a 1st-round pick that a lot of people even use the word bust with. It didn't happen right away. Sean Payton says it's all about his health. His feet are feeling good. When your feet are hurting as a running back, that's a bad deal. He's healthy, and it's showing on the field, and he really is taking his opportunity and rolling with it.
Brees on 1st down, all kinds of time, firing for Cooks. He's got it! Touchdown, New Orleans! A 31-yard strike, and the Saints right back in it.
This would be called a shot play. And talking to Drew Brees, he said, we're very strategic in our shot plays. We don't just throw shots, we design them, we dial them up. Well, here's one for the rookie who runs right by the other rookie, Jimmy Ward. What a perfectly thrown football by Drew Brees. And Brandon Cooks, a lot of people saying, but he's only averaging 9 yards per reception. Not anymore.
That's his third touchdown of the season. So already Cooks has a 35-yard catch in this one. That was a 31-yard catch. And you could not throw a ball any better than that. The Saints down 14-0 early are right back in this thing. Extra point up and good. And we've got ourselves a game here at the Superdome, baby. 14-10 San Francisco. But the Saints just came marching in. 10 unanswered for them.
Well, the Saints love the vertical passing game, but here's what allows it. Watch Eric Reed, the second-year safety. He's caught in what you call no man's land. He's not covering anybody. Jimmy Ward says, I need your help, buddy. He hangs him out to dry, and Drew Brees, if you have a lapse in coverage, he will find it and take advantage of it, and he does.
Brandon Cooks has been the savior today for New Orleans. A couple of huge plays, including that touchdown. And this is kicked by Morstead right out of the back of the end line. A lot of excitement. Fox and Fox Sports 1, the place to turn Saturday for a full day of conference rivalries, including games with playoff implications as Washington takes on 19th-ranked Arizona and 6th-ranked TCU squares off against Kansas. It all begins at 3 Eastern on Fox, Fox Sports 1, and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. So Cooks today has 2 catches for 71 yards, basically leading to their 10 points. That 35-yard catch was on a 3rd down. He's been huge. Brees right back to the tablet. 49ers football up 14-10. Kaepernick, pocket breaks down. Gonna loft it wide open. He's got Stevie Johnson. Good patience by Kaepernick. And he picks up a big play and a gain of 21.
Well, this is a different Colin Kaepernick. First of all, what a job by Stevie Johnson staying alive. If Colin Kaepernick's going to find time like that, find space. That's exactly what he does. He finds the space. Kaepernick last week, his first read wasn't there. His eyes went to the rush. He's doing a nice job today of keeping the eyes downfield to find a guy like Stevie Johnson.
49ers come to the line in a hurry. Got a 3 tight end set here, and they fake the run to Gore. Kaepernick, a little low throw for Davis, incomplete. It's a tough one to handle for Vernon Davis. It'll be a 2nd down. So it's been, let's see, 49ers came out with a haymaker, 14-0, great start, but the Saints answer right back. Now what do we settle into here?
Well, you know what I think you're seeing? I think you're seeing 2 pretty good football teams. They got in funks for whatever reasons early in the year, and they know how important this game is. And like you said, they're throwing haymakers. And I think we got a great football game in front of us. They're playing physical football, well-played football. Just going to see who lasts the longest.
Yeah, 4-4 records. It just doesn't feel like that fits with these teams. 2nd and 10, it's Gore. Again, showing some patience, but not a whole lot there. Saints were ready. Parrish Harrelson, the one-time 49er, on the tackle, and that'll bring up 3rd down. '49ers 3 of 4 on 3rd down so far today. Blake Brock at 3. Hits Bolden, and there's a 1st down. So Anquan Bolden holds on to that one. And it'll move the chains for the 49ers. All kinds of pressure. 8 sacks allowed last week. Their line's doing a good job today.
They really are, and I think Greg Roman's doing a nice job adjusting. Last week we saw long developing plays that played to the pressure, negatively to the pressure the Saints are bringing. Today, quick throws, ball out of his hand, and I like the fact he went right back to Anquan Bolden. Anquan Bolden is a stud. He had a rough series last series. Go right back to him.
Greg Roman said, I can help that. I have to do a better job. The sacks are on me. So it's interesting to bring up the play calling aspect of it. Here's Gore, and he gets driven back there, nowhere to go. Good pressure from the Saints at right side of the line.
The thing you're starting to see, though, the Saints defense, Rob Ryan, he's a Ryan, so he's got aggressiveness in his blood. His dad did, his brother does. Sean Payton's tried to rein him in a little, but we're seeing the Niners have success running the ball. That defense starting to suck up, so here comes the play action. That's why running the football effectively just opens up your entire playbook.
Gore lost 2 yards there. Overwhelmingly runs for the 49ers. Bruce Miller, number 49, the fullback, split out to the bottom of your screen. And now Kaepernick calls a timeout. So the 49ers take their second timeout of the half. And we'll take one as well. Started fast, but now we've got a game on our hands. 14-10, San Francisco.
Today's game is sponsored by Pizza Hut. Find the best deals at pizzahut.com.
6:12 to go, first half. It's been a good one, just like we thought. 14-10. 49ers up on the Saints. They've got a 2nd and 12 at the 48. I believe this is the first time they've gone empty backfield today. Kaepernick over the middle, and a nice completion to Anquan Boldin right down the seam.
Well, I tell you what, it is fun to watch this guy when he throws his fastball. You see the void in the zone, and whoop, there comes that ball from Kaepernick to Boldin. He throws one of the prettiest balls in football when he has the time, and Anquan Boldin fired up.
Pickup of 23. And a first down from the 25 as Boldin goes in motion. Here's Gore. Right up the middle, it's Frank Gore. And he's got a first down to the 15-yard line.
Every time they've run this play, it's been to their left behind Staley Upati. Alex Boone pulling, Vance McDonald. The tight end comes, and Frank Gore. Now, arm tackles won't do it against him. He's going to hit the hole and hit it hard. And again, falling forward. Everybody loves Frank Gore. Rob Ryan's talking about him. He said, I love the guy.
That guy, Vance McDonald, John, give him credit. He was drafted last year out of Rice as a pass-catching tight end. He's really turned into a good blocker at this level. We've seen it already today a few times. Kaepernick to throw, going for the fade. Boldin! He's got it! Touchdown! He went up and over Keenan Lewis, a 15-yard score.
Again, you're getting the one-on-ones. That's what you expect from a Rob Ryan. He goes back to the push. They're not going to call it again. That gives them the separation. You can't throw it any better. What a catch, what a throw.
John, I know that Colin Kaepernick's numbers the last 3 games have been pretty good statistically. But if you watch the games, he's a different player today. Would you agree?
I think he is. Yeah, I really do. I think he is a competitor. He was disgusted with the way he played.
Yeah.
Forget the 97.7 rating. He took 8 sacks. He knows it. He's responding today.
They're going to review this, and while they do, we'll take a break.
And I think we're going to have a confirmed touchdown. Look at that right knee. That's down before the left forearm elbow. And like John Madden used to say, his book was called it, 1 knee equals 2 feet.
Yep, and he maintains possession. See, the ball never moves in that vice grip hands of Anquan Boldin. So the knee goes down. He maintained possession throughout. It's a touchdown. But here we go from Bill
After
Vinovich.
reviewing the play, ruling on the field is confirmed. Touchdown.
There you go. 3rd touchdown of the year for Anquan Boldin. And Colin Kaepernick is red hot today. 4 of 5 on that drive for 68 yards. An 80-yard drive that had 5 plays of 10 yards or more. He's throwing the ball with zest. He's patient. Seen a lot of good things from the 49ers quarterback today.
I think they're setting him up for success. They ran it early. The throws are quick throws, which have allowed him to establish a rhythm, and he's hot.
Now Now Dawson with the extra point. Up and good. And so an impressive drive by the 49ers. 80 yards they go. Bolden with a couple big catches and the touchdown. And it's 21-10. Well, Fox, tonight we've got big laughs when the Frank Gore of Fox, Homer Simpson, and the Simpsons go back to Futurama. We're quoting you there, John. Eva Longoria joins Brooklyn Nine-Nine, plus great new episodes of Family Guy and Mulaney. Sunday Fun Day tonight at 8/7 Central on Fox. Colin Kaepernick and Anquan Bolden hooking up for a couple big plays on that drive. Bolden's got 4 catches for 61 yards and a touchdown.
So much for Sean Payton's theory. We meet with him Friday. He said this may be one of those games. First one to 3 touchdowns. Well, I think we got a lot of scoring in front of us.
I think he meant first one to 3 touchdowns in the 4th quarter. The way this game, it's funny, they never really do play out the way they seem, right?
They don't.
Big defensive battle, a lot of hard hitting. We've had hard hitting, but we've had some offense in this one. Short kick, Cadet's going to take it out. Back to the middle. That's a poor decision because Bruce Miller ate him up, and the Saints with poor field position. Home sweet dome indeed here at the Superdome. New Orleans has won 11 straight, longest in team history. As a matter of fact, with Sean Payton on the sidelines, it's 19 in a row. Why? Drew Brees nearly unstoppable here. Those numbers are fantastic. The closest they came to losing was to this group last year. 23-20, a 3-point win over the 49ers, and that was the controversial Aaron Brooks hit on Drew Brees that kept the drive alive. Ahmad Brooks, not Aaron, excuse me. Nick Tooney in the game for New Orleans for the first time at wide receiver. Brees going to go over to Cooks, and he's had himself a nice game. Harris Cox was on the coverage.
This guy's a good player, Brandon Cooks. He's a rookie, but he does not play like a rookie. He plays with tremendous smarts, savvy. Drew Brees just loves him. He can't say enough good things about him. Says things like wise beyond his years. And I really think it goes, look, he was a great receiver who caught the ball a lot. He played for Mike Riley in college, who was a professional coach, professional style. But in addition to that, Henry Ellard played for 16 years in this league at a high level. Then he's got Marcus Colston, who's been doing it for a long time. So just a great situation. There's Henry Ellard, the wide receiver coach. And
former great Ram, and a couple others as well. Ellard there. Meanwhile, there's an injured 49er. It's Ian Williams, the nose tackle. Important cog because they've played without Dorsey, who's still out this year. And Williams has played pretty well in the middle. He's been battling a shin injury. I don't know if that has anything to do with this, but it looks like they're down in that area. So who knows?
Dorsey, I think it's close. He's on that list, the designated to return IR. He tore his biceps in the preseason. And you got to like that. Jim Harbaugh, you know, a lot of rumors floating around. One thing I know, the guy can coach some football, and he cares about his players. He doesn't care really what you think about him, and can be tough to deal with, but that man can coach some football. And a lot of people doubting him, and you know one thing, his teams are going to come out fighting.
Well, in 3 years, he's led his team to 3 championship games, 1 Super Bowl. You make the argument that he's 2 Michael Crabtree catches away from a Super Bowl ring and 2 Super Bowl appearances, right?
Absolutely. I mean,
what more do you want?
Yeah, exactly. And I've seen him do it every place he's been. He's been successful at my alma mater, Stanford. Turned around a program, and now they're on the map each and every year. He knows how to get the best out of football teams.
Number 92, Quentin Dials, second-year man from Alabama, now at the nose tackle for the 49ers. Spin move, Ingram, but he gets gang tackled here. Nowhere to go. Chris Culliver came in there from the secondary.
Got so much respect for this defense because it'd be really easy to say, here's the tough sledding, the bloody runs that Sean Payton. You see Justin Smith just owning Ben Grubbs, slows him up, and there comes the rest of the 49er defense. But it would be really easy when you lose arguably your 2 best players in Aldon Smith to suspension, Navarro Bowman to injury, to say it's just not our year. Instead, number 2 in the league. Unbelievable, and a well-coached unit.
Technically today, the 49ers, they play a 3-4, so they're all 4 of their potential starting linebackers are out. That's what you're dealing with. Cadet in the game on a 3rd down and 4. Showing blitz, here they come. Brees stands in, going deep. It's dropped. never see Colston drop one, and it was perfect, but he let it get through his hands.
See the eyes? He does everything right. The concentration, except bring those eyes all the way down. And Drew knows that's one that got away. Perfectly thrown football. Right there, the eyes just don't bring it all the way in. And Marcus Colston, such a pro, just missed a big opportunity.
He's got some of the best hands in the league, so a huge play. Here's Ellington. And another great special teams tackle. That's 2 made by Vinny Sunseri. And now a late flag away from the play. Bruce Miller got tangled up with a Saint who's down. Ellington is hurt on another part of the field. Edwin Baker, he's the one that tackled with Bruce Miller there at the 40. I didn't see exactly what happened, but that's where the penalty flag came out too.
That's big for the Saints too, with Pierre Thomas, Kyrie Robinson out. Other than Cadet, that's their backup running back. Ooh, runs into his own, blocked into his own teammate.
He went down hard. I mean, his face planted on that turf, and he hasn't really moved too much. Now he gets up. Okay, so that's a good sign. So Ellington worked on one side of the field, and they work on Baker. And we're also waiting on a penalty. We also have a game break in a second. We're multitasking, John. That's what we do. All right, so Baker, he's a little wobbly getting up. Now Ellington, the rookie, on that return. Going to wait for Bill Vinovich's call. Meanwhile, 2 great special teams play by Vinny Sunseri, the rookie from Alabama. Here's the penalty. Bill, anytime. He's staring us down.
You're good,
there
Bill.
was no foul on the play for an illegal block in the back, as the runner was being tackled at the same time as the block. San Francisco keeps the ball. First down.
There you go. Good explanation. That's why he had to kind of correlate with all the officials to discuss that. Ellington is in some rough shape. Let's get that game break now with Joel Klatt.
All right, Kevin, as you guys are multitasking, I'll give you this sensational play by Dez Bryant. A little dump off from Romo, and he takes it up the rail. John Lynch, where's the tackling? Where's the tackling? Nobody's tackling Dez Bryant. That's a touchdown. 17-7. Dez Bryant takes it in. Of course, his birthday was a couple of days ago. Apparently, a bunch of Cowboys missed curfew because of it. Kevin, John, and Pam.
Well, you know, they're in London, and I guess things happen, but right now it's not showing.
I'll tell you what. Tough effort by Tony Romo. Don't ever question his toughness. Brad Johnson, quarterback of our Super Bowl team in Tampa, had that same injury. Said the most painful thing he's ever had. And Tony Romo playing a week after, that's unbelievable.
49ers football up 21-10, 3:08 to go in the half. They've got one timeout left. Airing it out. Bolden's open, and he's got him again. Pretty pass from Colin Kaepernick, and he's into Saints territory out at the 46-yard line. It's a 25-yard hookup.
Well, what Kaepernick is saying, Greg Roman, their offensive coordinator, you keep giving me one-on-one coverage, we will wear you out with Anquan Bolden. And Kaepernick's accuracy is so much better than it was last week. His poise, his play, he looks like a different quarterback. What a throw. Right in the breadbasket of Anquan Bolden.
You called at the beginning of this game for the 49ers if they want to get back to winning to go to Bolden and Gore. Bolden's got 86 yards and a touchdown. Gore's got 56 yards and a touchdown. Fake it to him here. Again, great protection. Going deep. Davis is there. Can't make the play. Saints had it bottled up with double coverage. It was Keenan Lewis coming in for the help.
And I like that. You're trying to get Vernon Davis back involved in the game, and boy, would that be huge. Keenan Lewis, you cannot afford to lose him. Came down hard on that left knee on the turf, and boy, you have to have him, and he's going to come off the field.
That's tough. Oh, man. I mean, he's a guy they put on an island. Looking into that left knee, Keenan Lewis, a New Orleans native who came here from Pittsburgh, signed a $26 million deal, is just tremendous. And he's played, you know, John, you said it, you think he's been the best cornerback in the league this year, which will tell you all you need to know from a Hall of Fame caliber safety like yourself. I mean, that says something.
Well, I tell you what, Sean Payton told me a really interesting story. When he came here via free agency, he was their second choice. A guy by the name of Derek Cox, who's no longer in the NFL, went out to the San Diego Chargers, a high-priced free agent. Sean Payton got in negotiations. It looked like they were going with Cox. Cox asked him to see the depth chart, and Payton said, I don't want a cornerback worried about being the starter or not. I want some confidence. They brought Keenan Lewis in, and Sean Payton, the moral of the story is sometimes your second choice is the best one you've ever made, and he made a great one, as did Mickey Loomis, the great GM here, with Keenan Lewis.
Well, you could see he's grimacing and trying to walk it off, and it was not happening. And you go from Lewis to a rookie in Brian Dixon, a free agent rookie out of Northwest Missouri State, number 20. And the way 49ers are running the ball, the way they're taking shots, I wonder how that changes Rob Ryan's thinking.
Well, Rob Ryan asks a lot of his corners. I mean, he does. He'll play cover zero, meaning no safeties in the middle of the field out of press coverage. No one does that. Rob Ryan does. And so you better be strong at the cornerback position. This would be a big blow. There's Brian Dixon.
So Lewis walking gingerly. And it will be the rookie Dixon, number 20, in at corner. And we'll see if the 49ers go right to him. They've been running the ball, but you wonder if they go and try and attack Dixon.
And if I'm Rob Ryan, I'm giving Dixon some help right now. Don't do that to the young man. Give him a safety over the top.
Dixon is going to be matched up with Crabtree here at the bottom of your screen. And second down, they're going to run it to Gore. And you know, you see that play almost looked a little like a little read option, John, and that has completely disappeared for the most part from this 49ers offense. That's what Kaepernick was made of early on.
Yeah, it's the zone read, and it's tough on a defense. You can't account for everybody. I think people in this league gave up on it way too easy. The thing I believe with Colin Kaepernick, you got a great luxury. He's 230 pounds.
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about him getting injured running the football, so I love that.
That takes us to the 2-minute warning from New Orleans. 49ers have the football. They've got a third down, one timeout left, and they've got the lead. 21-10, San Francisco over New Orleans. 2 minutes to go, first half. You can follow your favorite team all season long. Go to iTunes.com/NFL. Those guys are here a lot. The Rob Ryan and Sean Payton lookalikes. Pretty great. It's a third down and 9. 2 minutes to go in the first half. 21-10, 49ers.
And this is where I'm going. No safety help. Brian Dixon in for Keenan Lewis. If I'm Colin Kaepernick, I'm going to Stevie Johnson.
Here comes everybody. It's blocked up. Kaepernick to Crabtree, and it's incomplete. Kaepernick had to get rid of it, but it looked like Crabtree didn't turn around until late either. Well, Ryan going with the all-out blitz there. And Greg Roman, the offensive coordinator for the 49ers, said, hey, you know, Rob Ryan, one thing, if he's going down, he's not going down with his hands in his pockets.
He's coming.
He's unloading everything. Andy Lee. High punt, and look at this. Down by the great Kasim Osgood, the Pro Bowl special teams player, inside the 5. In honor of Veterans Day coming on Tuesday, instead of going to Kurtz in L.A., we go to Fort Benning, Georgia to find out what's coming up on the Visa Halftime Show.
Coming up at half, we'll catch you up on all the highlights from the early games.
Did Big Ben throw another 6 touchdowns?
We'll find out at halftime.
Hey, give them a deal. Good job, guys and gals. That's great.
And I know they love watching these games, and to all the troops out there, we want to thank you for your service. We appreciate it.
Well, John, you know, we were singing God Bless America on Bourbon Street the other night, so you never know. Anything is possible. Jimmy Graham makes the catch. There's Borland right there. As the Saints, all 3 timeouts, but time ticking with 1:35 to go in the half.
I think you want to put points in. You got a quarterback you can trust in Drew Brees. Trust him right now. Try to get at least a field goal prior to the half.
Breeze back, three-man rush. That's it, and it's dropped over the middle. That was for Graham as well. And so the clock stops. 49ers now thinking they have one timeout left. And if they hold here, they get to stop the ball, stop the clock.
Wow, deflects off Quentin Dial's helmet. And that disrupts Jimmy Graham, I think, who's screened out, can't even see the ball coming from Drew Brees.
Third down and 6. Breeze in trouble. Justin Smith was all over him. Was there a player there? Cadet was there. Okay, all right, there you go. Thinking for a second intentional grounding, but Travaris Cadet was there.
They're trying to get a screen here, and it's an excellent job by Ahmad Brooks. Cadet is in the area, and a great job by this San Francisco defense, not only with the 3 and out, but almost no time came off the clock. In this sequence, they're going to have time to take another shot at putting points on the board before the half.
That is the 4th 3 and out that the Niners defense has forced, and now Ellington hurts, so Parrish Cox back to receive, but oh, what a punt by Morstead. There's no chance to return it. But John, you hit it. 1:13 to go, and one timeout for the 49ers. Game break time. Let's check in with Joel.
All right, Kevin, you guys obviously have Brandon Cooks, a great rookie wide receiver there in New Orleans to cover. Well, Jace Amaro, the great rookie tight end for the Jets, he finds the end zone. And how about this? The 1-8 Jets up 17-3 over the mighty Pittsburgh Steelers. Kevin, John, and Pam.
Exactly what we thought, John, wasn't it?
Go figure.
I mean,
but is Big Ben going to throw 6 touchdowns in the second half?
Unbelievable. As Steelers came in red hot, and here come the Jets. So now, this is a critical stretch. 1:13 to go in the half. 21-10 San Francisco, and good field position at the 44. One timeout. Kaepernick in trouble, and he fumbled the football. Cam Jordan's got it for the Saints. What a time for a turnover. Tyron Walker made the play, and Cam Jordan recovered it.
I think it's just the one weakness in Kaepernick's game right now. You got to know when to say when and throw it away. It's not always going to be something down the field. If you don't like it, throw it away. Instead, he tries to run with it. Tyron Walker knocks it out. That right hand of Tyron Walker. And Cam Jordan falls in it. A huge mistake for Colin Kaepernick and the 49ers.
I mean, at the very least, you're going up 11 at the break. Now, here are the Saints with all 3 timeouts and 1:06 to go in the half. Travaris Cadet in motion. Breeze. Pocket coming apart. Gets it to Cadet on the cross. Borland tackles him immediately. Going to pick up 6 with the clock under a minute. They've got plenty of time. 3 timeouts, so there's no rush for Breeze. He's as good as anybody in this spot. Low snap, but gets by Breeze, picks it up, somehow composes, and Graham has the catch on a first down. You believe that? Now you're going to call your first timeout with 37 seconds to go. Talk about poise.
Poise and athleticism. I think it's something. This is just how you draw it up if you're Sean Payton, Pete Carmichael, the offensive coordinator. All right, Jonathan, we want you to roll it back to Drew. He'll find it on the ground, get his eyes up, and unbelievable. But his athleticism and the poise, the word you mentioned, it's rare. And it's something that kind of goes unnoticed. They think he's a grinder. It always irritates Sean Payton. He said this guy is an elite foot athlete. He can dunk a basketball any which way. Beat Andy Roddick in tennis as a youth. I mean, the guy is an athlete.
Well, Drew Brees had a rough start to this one. Threw a pick on the first series, but his eyes never came off downfield there, and picks up a big first down. Now New Orleans in field goal range. They want more than that. Pressure coming from Lynch, but he gets it off to Cooks. Brandon Cooks in space, and he's going to have about 7 or 8 yards. See where they mark it officially. Eric Reed, top clock down to 23 seconds and still 2 timeouts.
I'm surprised you're not using. You can't take those timeouts with you. They wasted a lot of time right there.
Breeze, 3-man rush. Throwing, looking, Graham, end zone, triple coverage, it's intercepted. Culliver's got it. Culliver looking for some blocks. Chris Culliver taken down. What a stunning finish to this half. And an enormous play by Chris Culliver as Breeze threw into triple coverage for Jimmy Graham, and that one had no shot.
Well, you got to call it like you see it, and that's a poor decision by Drew Brees. It's one thing getting it to Jimmy Graham, but look at 3 guys right in that area around Jimmy Graham, and he tries to force it in. It's one thing one-on-one to give Jimmy Graham a chance, but that's just too many guys there. I thought it was poor clock management and then a poor decision by Breeze. Drew knows it.
Well, Jim Harbaugh was a big fan. That's just an enormous turn of events. It really is. And you know, we said Drew Brees and the Saints so good at that spot, not calling a timeout, and then because of it, forcing it, and they don't get any points. And so at the break from New Orleans, it's been a good half for the 49ers. 21-10. They lead it here at the Superdome. Running game got going. Halftime festivities coming up on the Visa Halftime Show. The studio when we come back.
Get down!
We get set for the third quarter. It's 21-10 49ers. That's some excitement. Today's excitement brought to you by Nissan. Frank Gore, 15 carries, 57 yards and a touchdown. Believe it or not, 49ers' first rushing touchdown since week 3. It was a span of 337 minutes without a rushing touchdown. And because the 49ers won the toss and deferred, they will get the ball to start it off here in the second half. Carlos Hyde, the rookie, back to return. Bruce Ellington went out with an ankle injury. And so here's Hyde. He's going to take it out from 8 yards in. And that breaks one tackle. Pretty good return from Hyde, which could have been a disaster. Well, I think when we came into this one, John, we talked about identity and getting Frank Gore involved. Well, he's involved.
Yeah, you call it identity. Howie, Michael, Terry, and Jimmy called it the formula.
Yeah.
And then the formula is 49er football, running the football, and then also your best players. Get into Frank Gore, get into Anquan Bolden, Kaepernick, allowing him to use his athleticism. They've done that very well. Missed opportunities for the Saints.
Yeah.
I think Marcus Colston running down the middle of the field, ball right in his hands, and he lets it go. And then that last drive, terrible clock management and a bad decision by Drew Brees.
They were gifted a turnover there, but the Saints couldn't even get a field goal. The interception by Culliver. Here's Gore. Not much going. Let's go down to the sidelines with Pam Oliver.
Well, Kevin, Saints head coach Sean Payton had a few simple solutions. It's just a matter of execution. He was stressing balance, balance, balance. And oh yeah, be better on third downs and stop with the turnovers. Meanwhile, for the 49ers, a fired up group as they headed into the locker room. Jim Harbaugh telling me critical for them just to continue what they're doing. Play good football and stay aggressive. Back to you.
Also got 90 rushing yards on the day, so that's what they're doing, Pam. Kaepernick comes to Miller, who bobbles and does not catch the football. And that'll bring up a third down and long. And I think, too, what they're doing, Johnny, you talked about it, they're running the football, but that's made Colin Kaepernick a better player today.
Well, it's giving him one-on-ones on the outside. Anquan Bolden will win those if you give him enough opportunities. And big development here. Keenan Lewis not on the field in the second half. So you're playing with Brian Dixon out there. Rob Ryan so aggressive. We'll see if the Niners can take advantage of that.
Dixon is number 20. Lewis, the best cornerback. And he's out with a quad injury, questionable to return. Third down and 8. Blitz coming. Kaepernick unloads, and he's got Stevie Johnson. And it's a first down. Corey White on the coverage, but he hooks up with Johnson for 18 yards.
Well, Mike Shanahan, my old coach in Denver, used to say, if you're a wide receiver, you can't win one-on-ones, start selling cars. Well, the Niners are winning their one-on-ones. And Stevie Johnson does a tremendous job of it right there.
You know, John, I didn't win any one-on-ones with wide receivers, and I also sold cars.
And you did it well.
First down for San Francisco. McDonald in motion. And here's Gore. stacked up pretty good at the line of scrimmage that time. Junior Gillette and a host of others was there. So both teams coming into this game at 4-4, and obviously important for both. But because of the NFC West, because Arizona is 7-1, there was a more important field, that's the right word, for San Francisco.
Yeah, the NFC South has really bailed the Saints out. Nobody wants to go and claim that. They're on top of it at 4-4. So the Saints 4-4 looks a whole lot prettier moving forward than does the Niners, and so much more important for both, but a must-win, as Joe Staley said, for the 49ers.
Plenty more of the time to go in this one, though, is Gore. There is Lewis. We were talking about Lewis. Well, he's got the uniform on, so that's a good sign for maybe coming back.
It's a good sign, but not a good sign that he's not out there, particularly here on third down. This is where Rob Ryan likes to spin the dial, spin that Rolodex of blitzes. Keenan Lewis trying to work it out, but not on the field.
Empty backfield on third down. Kaepernick rolls out. Bolden incomplete. Throw wasn't exactly where it needed to be on that particular play, and the 49ers will punt.
We've seen a couple of the most sure-handed guys in the league, Marcus Colston and Anquan Bolden, have their drops. It's a ball that I promise you Anquan Bolden expects himself to catch.
Oh, I agree. But I don't know if he caught it if he would have had the first down, because he would reach way behind him there. So a missed opportunity. And they will punt it away. Brandon Cooks waits back deep. And the lead. Fair catch called for by Cooks. And the Saints will have their first possession of the second half when we come back. So Bolden with the drop. It's the Niners in front, 21-10.
Book your low fare now at Southwest.com. By KFC, the world's best chicken. How do you KFC? By Visa Checkout, the easier way to pay online. And by the new Samsung Galaxy S5, the next big thing is here.
Well, Drew Brees hasn't had his best day today. A couple of interceptions, one on the opening possession, which led to the first 49ers touchdown. A bad one at the end of the half there. Brandon Cooks has been really the Saints' offense, at least in the passing game. Their football down 21-10. Get it to Mark Ingram. They've stayed consistent running the ball. It's his 10th carry now for Ingram.
And you heard Pam Oliver say that Sean Payton, that's the one thing, the first thing he mentioned, balance. He's going to stick with that running game. I thought it was starting to pay dividends already late in that first half. They just couldn't capitalize on it. The turnovers are hurt. I think wise to stay balanced.
Second down at 6.
Easy, kill, Mike 50. Ready, set.
Gonna have a draw on this play. Good job by Cadet to stutter step and wait for that hold open. He's got himself a first down. Tavares Cadet getting a rare carry.
Well, very nice carry by Tavares Cadet, but Drew Brees getting them in the right play. You heard him kill. Well, that means they were in a pass. I'm going to put us in a run because he saw the two deep safeties. Drew Brees commanding the offense and Cadet with a fine run.
Ingram back in the game now in the eye. That's Ben Watson, the tight end, 82. Here's Ingram up the middle. Strong run for Ingram. Brooks rides him down, but not before he picks up 11.5 yards.
Kevin, there's that sledgehammer that Sean Payton, if we keep running those bloody runs, become 10-yard runs all of a sudden. Great blocking up front. Grubbs up on Borland. Ahmad Brooks doing a nice job to come and make that tackle. Just north and south. Strong running by Mark Ingram.
Ingram came into today with 431 yards on the year. And you look at where he is, 51 yards today. His career high is 602 yards. That was in 2012. But this is the first time he's been the workhorse for the Saints team. On first down, Brees, a lot of time over the middle and incomplete. looking for Benjamin Watson there. You brought up something interesting earlier. You said because Kyrie Robinson and Pierre Thomas are out, and both very good, they have this 3-back rotation. You think it's helped Ingram. Why does that make a difference?
I think it's helped the team, really, because they've always been a running back by committee team, and they've done it well. But Mark Ingram's a guy who needs carries. It takes him some time to get into a game. That physical style wears on defenses, and those injuries have given him the opportunity to showcase that.
This is 12 carry, but that time Antoine Bethea said, Came up to make the tackle from the safety position. Bethea's got a pick today, too.
Watch Bethea right here. This is how you play the safety position. You see it, and then you go get it, and you arrive with bad intentions. Antoine Bethea, textbook tackling, and really, prior to the last couple weeks, I think that's something they've been missing. Dante Whitner went to Cleveland, that physicality from the safety position, but Bethea, who's done it very well for a long time in Indy, starting to make his presence known.
Now a 3rd and 9. Saints have been terrible in this department today. Breeze hit as he throws. Graham, sure-handed tackle by Cox. That had first down written all over it, and Parrish Cox with a big tackle.
I tell you, Vic Fangio's defenses, they do things right. You got to be able to tackle in space. Parrish Cox with the tight coverage and then the tackle right on the spot. It's just how you play defense. Now you get to go return a punt.
And Jimmy Graham is 6'7", 265. Parrish Cox is 6 feet, under 200 pounds. But that was a tremendous. I mean, that's huge. Not only first down, he could have a 20-yard gain there. 49ers doing the little things here today. Morstead, another fantastic game, 3rd in the league in net average coming in. This one, though, may get to the end zone, and it does. That not exactly what he wanted. San Francisco takes over on their own 20. It's the 49ers game so far. They're up 21-10. Jim Harbaugh flat out wins. I mean, the University of San Diego put them on the map, 29-6 in 3 years. Went to John, your alma mater, Stanford, and really look what he did to that program to turn it around. And now let's not forget, this is an obvious proud franchise with great tradition, but they were in a dark period until Harbaugh took over and has been incredible for this team. And quite frankly, you and I have been talking, the fact about the reports, from Jay Glazer initially about him being out after the year, I think is just insane.
Yeah, I don't think the reports are insane because...
not the report, I mean the idea.
No, exactly, because you'd be putting yourself in a hole that's just senseless. You've got a guy who's brought back the pride of the Niners. You got a great GM in Trim Balky. They may have some philosophical differences, tough personalities. Figure it out, guys. It's working pretty darn well.
1st and 10, San Francisco up 11 here in the 3rd. Kaepernick has all day. Now some pressure comes, and he's in trouble, and now he goes down. Kaepernick had a long time to throw the ball, but Cam Jordan came in and gets the sack, his 5th of the year.
So Greg Roman tries to take a shot here. It's only a 2-man route, and so Colin right here, here's where he's got to grow a little bit. When it's covered like that, throw the football away. Live to see another down. Instead, you've got your team in a 2nd and 20. I think it's his one weakness. And I think some of it, Kevin, because he's such a phenomenal athlete, he feels like he can get out of any situation. But if he just learns to throw the football away, it will help him tremendously.
Keenan Lewis is back in the game, number 28 at the bottom of your screens. That's big news for the Saints. They throw it the other way, though, looking for Stevie Johnson. And he gets taken down. So Lewis back in the game. Let's check in with Pam.
Well, there, Kevin, I asked Sean Payton about Keenan Lewis and if he would return. He wasn't sure at the time, but Keenan has returned, and I tell you, I've been watching him. He can barely run. He's wearing a very bulky brace on his left knee, but the Saints say it's a quad injury. He was working on that, trying to loosen it up. He can't even backpedal. We'll see how that goes back here.
I mean, that doesn't sound good, and we show you the brace, and he just limped into the huddle.
Here he is, and he is limping severely.
Give him credit for being out there. 3rd and 15 now. Kaepernick bobbles, recovers, throws, Bolden drops it! Oh my goodness! That's 3 drops today for Anquan Bolden.
First of all, a tough snap. Good job by Kaepernick bringing it in. You see it high and to his right. But You can't throw it any better. And we've seen, I said it before, Marcus Colston, Anquan Boldin, two of the most sure-handed guys in this league, drop passes today. It happens to the best.
Yeah, it's bizarre. Bolden's got 3 of them. Colston dropped what could have been a touchdown before. And now Andy Lee's punch. And a late penalty thrown at the 25-yard line. Hang on. Let's decipher what this penalty is.
You know, Kevin, the punts from Andy Lee, we're usually seeing him booming them. The last 2 weeks have not been impressive.
Yeah, you just never see that from him. And he was punting fine in that game up until late.
During the kick, holding, receiving team number 52. 10-yard penalty from the end of the kick. New Orleans keeps the ball. First down. Timeout.
Crazy. Since the last 2 minutes of the first half, it's been like mistake, 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 mistake. Bolden, though, dejected because that's a touchdown. There was nobody behind that play. 49ers left one on the table. They, though, with the lead, 21-10.
Today's Game on Fox is sponsored by Cialis.
Well, the Saints may have dodged a big bullet because Anquan Boldin had a monster play, but he dropped one. Bolden's got 3 drops today. He had 2 all year. Only had 1 game in his entire career. He had 3 drops. It was back in 2003. There are the Saints down 11, looking to get some offense going, and it's Mark Ingram up to the 40.
Kevin, let's go back to that drop by Bolden, but here's why he was wide open. Kenny Vaccaro right here. Keenan Lewis is down here. We saw him gimpy with a huge brace. He goes to give his buddy some help, saying, I know he's gimpy. Well, that leaves the one-on-one on Corey White, who takes the aggressive undercut. And like you said, touchdown if Anquan Boldin simply brings that football in.
Wow.
Playing with the fire.
Strange, you said it. I mean, Colson dropped one before. He could have gone for 6. See if this game equalizes a little bit now. Cooks gets a great block, makes a good move. He's going to be a yard shy of a first down.
Well, you really do get the feel, even with all those players we've talked about out for the 49ers D, it's tough sledding on everything. There's no freebies. We saw the shot earlier that Drew Brees had to Cooks, but they make you earn everything. I think it's the hallmark of Vic Fangio's defense, and I cannot say enough of Vic Fangio playing without a lot of his key players, star players, and still playing incredibly effective defense.
Saints just 2 of 8 on 3rd down today. Pressure, Ingram. It's Watson wide open. He's got it. First down for New Orleans. Bethea there on the tackle, but not before a 13-yard gain.
Benjamin Watson, really an unsung hero on this New Orleans offense. We hear so much about Jimmy Graham. Well, here's the other tight end as there was a penalty. There's Bill Vinovich.
Illegal use of hands. Hands in the face. Defense number 25. Penalty is declined. Result of the play. First down.
It's on Jimmy Ward. Didn't see that flag, John.
See Benjamin Watson coming across the formation. A little swap boot. Benjamin Watson really the blocking tight end, integral to what they do as an offense.
Brees on the fake. Has all kinds of time. Now he's going to step up and just shovel it away. Brandon Cooks was the guy on the deep route, but Brees didn't like it. And it's incomplete, and now there's a 49er down in the secondary. Is that Eric Reed down there? Yes, it is. They're starting safety. Brees was looking to go in that direction. Instead, it's an incompletion, and the 49er down on the field with Reed.
We saw Eric Reed go off the last play. Watch that right ankle. Overturns it like he does, like a basketball player. Let me clear that. And Eric Reed out now. Craig Dahl comes in for him.
Reed did, after a couple minutes, get off and kind of jog off and looked all right doing it. So we'll see if he comes back in.
Ready.
2nd and 10 for the Saints here in the 3rd quarter, trailing by 11. It's Ingram. Good spin by Ingram. Hard running. Mark Ingram down to the 35 and a good gainer. We've got a game break. Checking in with Kurt Menefee.
All right, Tony Romo's thrown 3 touchdown passes against Jacksonville in London, but it's Joseph Randle on the ground getting it done on this one. Nice 40-yard touchdown run. The Cowboys cruising right now, 31-7 in the 3rd. Kevin, John, and Pam.
How cool is that, KB? If I'm Tony Romo, I'm telling my grandkids in 30 years, threw 3 touchdowns with my back broken.
It's not a bad deal.
In London.
3rd down and three. They're going to run it to Ingram. Big hole. Mark Ingram's got a first down and then trucked over at the 25. But a big run for Ingram. He picks up 9, and the Saints pick up a third down.
I tell you what, Sean Payton, the picture he painted is starting. He talked about the bloody runs. Early, they're 2 or 3 yards. Then they start becoming 8, 9, 10. And that's what's happening. The commitment, the stick-to-itiveness with the run game is starting to pay dividends for the New Orleans Saints.
Mark Ingram's putting together another good game. 15 carries, 71 yards, coming off back-to-back 100-yard games. Give it to him again. Bounces off coverage. Stiff arm to Bethea. Ingram shoving people away. You talked about Frank Gore kind of giving the team a little life. Maybe Ingram doing the same thing for the Saints.
He certainly is. He's running hard, and we talked about a bloodbath. This is a physical game. They're both playing it. Mark Ingram throwing Bethea off him. Good job by Bethea just sticking with him and getting him out of bounds.
Ingram's up to 82 yards. Eric Reed, number 35, back in at safety for San Francisco. Reed, blitz coming from Bethea, steps up, avoids, end zone, knocked away beautifully by Culliver. He was going for Benjamin Watson, but Culliver played it well.
You watch Travaris Cadet, just a fabulous job on the late blitz pickup. He's going to come across the formation on Bethea, and boom, right before Drew Brees is getting rid of the ball. And Benjamin Watson just can't come up with it. Culliver with a fine play.
Ingram back in the game at tailback. On second down, they give it to him. Ingram moves the pile forward. He's going to pick up 4, and that'll be a 3rd down and 6. Ingram, talking about these guys getting hurt in Robinson and Thomas. Against Green Bay a couple weeks ago, he had 172 yards rushing, and then 4 days later, he had 100 yards rushing. 54 carries in 4 days, and now putting forth this effort.
And that's the nice thing about those Thursday. We hear so many people complain about them, but when you win, you get 10 days. It's almost like another bye week, so he should be fresh. And the interesting thing, Kyrie Robinson comes back likely next week. How's Sean Payton going to divvy the reps then?
2 of 2 on 3rd down on this drive, though. Blitz, Brees in trouble, spins away, throwing end zone, touchdown! Jimmy Graham! Wizardry from Drew Brees. Oh, man.
The wizardry is right in his face comes the pressure. Here comes Will Hoyt. Here comes Reed. Drew Brees spins, keeps his eyes downfield, finds Jimmy Graham, the old power forward, who boxes out Chris Culliver for the Saints touchdown.
That was unbelievable.
It really was.
I mean, 2 blitzers untouched. Vic Fangio has got to be like, you have to be kidding. He dialed up the perfect play, and Brees beat it. And the extra point is up and good. That is a big drive. The Saints offense was needing a little something. They got it from Mark Ingram. And then Brees finished it off with this. Miss 1, miss 2, and then boom. Jimmy Graham for 6. And it's 21-17. 49ers in front.
6 catches for 39 yards for Jimmy Graham. Now, Graham is playing with an injury that's still weeks away from healing. That right shoulder gets very sore, the area swells, and the pain is so intense. Graham told me he barely sleeps, maybe 4 hours a night. He's got a rigorous schedule as far as rehab goes, but Thursday and Friday, 2 important days of the practice week, and the point he says is the worst. Graham told me he's basically essentially running in pain, pumping his arms in pain, and going up to catch the ball in pain. Back to you.
Wow, that says something about Jimmy Graham, doesn't it?
It really does. We were talking to him before the game. You see another touchback from Morstead. Oh, no, not so fast.
Defying the odds, John. It's Hyde sprinting out of the end zone. Wow, what contact. Oh, Ronald Powell met Hyde, both going about 100 miles an hour.
But just to finish, I think the great thing that Jimmy Graham said, Drew Brees, watch this contact, by the way. Most violent plays in football happen on the kickoff team. Wow. That's 2 big men running into each other full speed. Unbelievable. But Graham said Drew Brees wants his guys practicing. I said, you're Jimmy Graham. He said, he's Drew Brees. So I said, enough said.
But it speaks to his toughness.
It really does.
He's playing with a shoulder that's not very good, and he catches that touchdown, and now this crowd is life. 49ers up by 4, 2:45 to go in the third. Back to the run they go. And a short gain will give it 3.
See, and really, I love the chess match. And we saw in the last drive, Sean Payton not giving up on the run game. And neither is Jim Harbaugh, Greg Roman, and the 49ers. They're going to stick with this run game. It's been good to them. It's opened up the pass game. Both coaches, good football coaches, believe in the run, setting up the pass, and it's on display today.
100 rushing yards for San Francisco, 94 for New Orleans. Second down and 7. To throw it, Kaepernick. He's going to get it to Gore. And Gore is tackled by Humber. Ramon Humber's made a couple plays in that linebacker spot. Now a third down is coming up. That's the 7th tackle. Make it 8 now for Humber. That leads New Orleans today.
I just got to wonder if Keenan Lewis, told you earlier what I thought about his cornerback play. He's limping severely. I'm wondering if Kaepernick sees that. I'd be going after him.
Since he's been in, they haven't looked his way. Keenan Lewis going to be matched up against Bolden at the bottom of your screen. This place is rocking. Kaepernick zings to Bolden. He can't make the play. So he does test Lewis, and he comes up incomplete.
Shoot, maybe he's pulling the rope-a-dope, the old limp, and then get healthy once the ball's snapped. Keenan Lewis, what a tough display. Gets tripped up, but the great cornerbacks, what they do, they finish. He gets that right hand in there. That's what he's done all year. And boy, what a tough effort by Keenan Lewis out there in clear pain.
I can't believe he's playing, to be honest with you. He made a nice play. And Lee gets off more of an Andy Lee punt. This is a rocket. Cooks from the 19. A little high step there, just looking for something, but he had nothing to give. Kyle Nelson on the tackle. In honor of Veterans Day, for every point scored during the NFL's 32 Salute to Service games, the league donating $100 to each of its nonprofit partners. The Pat Tillman Foundation, USO, and Wounded Warrior Project. To join the salute and learn more, visit NFL.com/salute. Saints this week at a Pros versus G.I. Joe's event. Jimmy Graham, Vinny Zanseri, Cam Jordan, Akeem Hicks. Hanging with the guys playing Call of Duty, a video game. Nice work, fellas.
Absolutely.
There's Lewis. It's amazing he's playing. Guy can't walk. He's limping between every play. He just made a big deflection off of Bolden.
He showed the stat to open the game. 4-4. Getting to 5-4. Your playoff chances increase greatly. Such an important game for both teams.
Here are the Saints. Brees in trouble. Steps away. A little shovel pass. Somehow got that away. I mean, Drew Brees is shifty as they get. I mean, there's been a couple times today, obviously, on the touchdown. It looks like he's going to get swallowed up, and then he comes out and gets rid of that thing.
And here he is playing Houdini again. He gets small. He protects. Look at that. 2 hands on the football. Eyes downfield. Just a little push to Mark Ingram. He doesn't like taking sacks. And he doesn't take many.
How do you throw a spiral when you throw it like a shot put?
I don't know.
Somehow Brees did it. Hand off Ingram. Good push on the line, and Ingram's got a good carry. Up near the first down, they got a good burst. Looked like from Streif and Evans and company over there on the right side.
You see these guys up front, the interior of that offensive line. Watch Jonathan Goodwin. The push. Grubbs gives him a little help. They bury him, and then Justin Smith saves him. But the attrition is starting to pay off.
Should be the end of the quarter, and Ingram trying to get that first down on a 3rd and short. I don't know that he got it. They tried to quick play it, get to the line and hurry up and surprise San Francisco, but I don't think he got it. Let's see where the spot is going to be. This would be the last play, yeah.
See Dial.
Oh, no, definitely
Moreland.
not.
Good stop by the 49er defense.
You know, it's interesting that they hurried, almost tried to catch San Francisco off balance, but it didn't work, and that's a big play. That is a big play, and that is the end of the 3rd quarter. So, 3rd quarter ends with an interesting play, and the 49ers trying to hang on, up 14-0 early. It's 21-17 after 3, San Francisco. The Saints are 8 lengths of a chain shy of a first down, and they're going to start the fourth quarter, 4th and inches, and they're going to go. They're down 21-17 to San Francisco, and Sean Payton, who's always been a guy who rolls the dice, is rolling a big game of dice right here.
Well, a couple things. Drew Brees, a very accomplished hard counter. You wonder if they're going to try to draw the 49ers off. If you're in that 49ers huddle, watch the football, fellas. And then Drew Brees, smaller guy, but really, really effective as a quarterback sneaker, reaching that ball across. This is gutsy, to say the least.
That is going to be the call. Even crazier, no Mark Ingram on the play. And no one else in the backfield. They are going to go, and Brees has it. Talk about guts. And now 49ers saying they have the football. Is that what that is? No, it's a first down for New Orleans.
See Drew Brees with the patience there. They need 8 links. They get 11. Excellent job. I don't know how smart it was. It was sure gutsy by Sean Payton, and well, Drew Brees very patient in that.
Talking about the guy that onside kicked in the Super Bowl, right? So I don't think anything phases him, and we'll see. That could be a turning point in this game. So the Saints keep the football and start this fourth quarter, trailing 21-17. Fake it to Ingram. A lot of time, airing it out deep for Stills, and he just missed him. Stills is their home run hitter, and Brees overthrew him, which is hard to do.
And talking to Drew Brees about this part of their game, their shots, he said, we've got about 10 to 12 dialed up each game. We're strategic in how we do it. Every guy's got about 2 or 3 dialed up, and he knows he just missed one. Because like you said, they had the guy they like in those situations wide open, and Drew just outthrew him.
It's a matchup that they wanted. 2nd and 10. Ingram gets it and doesn't get much. Aaron Lynch was there to make the stop. We've got a game break. Let's check in with Kurt.
All right, Lions continue to have trouble with field goals this year. Matt Prater blocked. Deion Jordan scoops it up from Miami, takes it back all the way to the 3-yard line. Next play, Mike Wallace, a little reception from Tannehill. Game all tied at 13 in the fourth quarter. 2 teams that have won 3 games each in a row coming in. Kevin?
Dolphins are really good, John.
It's two of the better defenses in football right there. I got to watch Miami against Green Bay. Came away thoroughly impressed, and the offense is starting to go.
3rd down and 10 for New Orleans. Blitz picked up. Brees to Ingram. He's got a way to go for the first, and he's going to be tackled and fumbles the football. They're going to say he was down, but he's down a yard or so shy of a first down. So Peyton went once. He's going to go again. I would think he has to, right?
It's just an excellent tackle by Eric Reed in space. The line to gain close by. You got to get him down, and Eric Reed does exactly that to Mark Ingram. Now this is not 8 links. This is more like a good 1.5 yards that they are short.
If you go backed up looking at your own 30, don't you have to go now? I'm just asking the question.
Now, you know, one thing we were talking, Sean Payton, Kevin, one of the guys he talks with on a weekly basis is Bill Parcells. Well, Bill Parcells was a guy who liked to go for it on 4th down and roll the dice. He's influenced Sean Payton in so many ways, and Sean Payton is a guy who historically has liked to do this. I think this is a different deal.
It's further, and the other thing is the way that the Saints defense is playing. Yeah, it's a little different, and now you get a punt and pin him back. So Payton thought about it. Instead, they will punt it away. Morstead to punt it away. Parrish Cox is back deep. Another great day for Morstead. Although the last one went into the end zone. Cox going to catch it and elude a tackle. It's a nice play by Paris Cox. Really well done. Just to give the Niners some room. Drew Brees knew he missed one here. He had Stills open. Still the Niners in front.
Today's Game on Fox is sponsored by AT&T. Mobilizing your world. By DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you gotta get DirecTV. And by Canon.
Week 10 continues later today on CBS, and for some of you on Fox, then tonight was Sunday Night Football on NBC, and of course tomorrow Monday Night Football on ESPN. Panthers, Eagles cleans it up. But we've got ourselves a game from New Orleans. 21-10, 49ers lead and their football, 12-18 to play. Keenan Lewis, who just made the great play on Bolden last series, dealing with that injury, now out as the Saints get back on D.
See the San Francisco offense been stymied in this second half. 3 possessions, 3 punts.
But don't forget, Kaepernick had a bomb to Bolden that he dropped. Back to throw here, looking for Crabtree. Nearly intercepted by Patrick Robinson. Crabtree today, 1 catch for 5 yards. He's been silent.
Got to throw on time in this league. Crabtree comes out, ball should be there. Ball's not, it's almost picked as a result.
Usually one of their go-to guys, not today. 2nd and 10. Coming near side, there's Crabtree, and he gets taken down after a gain of 6. So it'll be a 3rd down and 4 coming up. The 49ers are 5 of 10 on 3rd down. They converted 4 of their first 5, though, so it's changed for them.
Expect to see something different from Rob Ryan. This is where he likes to get creative. 3rd down. 3rd and 4, absolutely critical down.
Keenan Lewis is back in. So he's like their closer coming out of the bullpen. He's in on 3rd downs on big plays. Top of your screen.
You know what? He's got no safety behind him. They're letting him go.
Pressure. 3rd and 4. Kaepernick delivers a ball to Bolden. And that quiets the crowd for a 1st down. He's up to the 32. It's a gain of 9.
Well, you don't worry about confidence with Anquan Bolden. He's dropped some balls, not his finest day, but he's going to make the plays when they count the most. 3rd down, Kaepernick has no qualms in going right back to Anquan Bolden.
Bolden 6 catches, 95 yards, including a touchdown. That's with the 3 drops today, and that's a big catch. 49ers needed a little something on offense. Here's Gore. Gore running over his own people. But a good run on 1st down. Vance McDonald apparently wasn't quick enough. Gore ran him over. He's got 6.
So Frank Gore, he'll run over anyone. You watched him, a little power up the middle, and Vance McDonald, get out of my way. Frank Gore. He likes running people over, even his own teammates.
Even Rob Ryan said, I love that guy. I love the way he plays. The guy is great. I'm not sure he loves him today, but you get the idea. A lot of respect from Rob Ryan on Gore. 2nd and 4. Bolden coming in motion. Fake to Gore. Kaepernick looking to run, and he's going to get a 1st down. Design run all the way for Kaepernick, and it works.
That is a tremendous play call. I like that. I think this is the type of things that keeps defenses on the heels, and a really outstanding play by Kenny Vaccaro, because otherwise Kaepernick may be hitting his head on the goalpost. Vaccaro has the tight end right there. He reacts out, and they get the 1st down. But like I said, there was green grass in front of Kaepernick.
Especially the way he runs, John.
Yeah.
4 carries, 24 yards rushing for Kaepernick today. On 1st down, draw to Gore. Good patience, Gore. He has that extra second where he's able to let the block develop. It's fun to watch.
And you notice their run success today has happened on that left side. You're going behind your best players. You Potty, Staley, you bring Vance McDonald around. You pull Alex Boone, Bruce Miller out in front of him. That's a good tackle. Very good tackle by Curtis Lofton.
You talked about the left side of the line, left tackle Joe Staley. Let's remember what he told us yesterday. This is a must-win game for us. Staley right there, the anchor of that line for 8 years. On second down, give it to Gore again. He barrels forward. It's going to be a 3rd down and 3.
They're wearing that left side out. And it doesn't look like much, but you're looking at a 3rd and 4. Chances are good on a 3rd and 4. Now it's in Kaepernick's hands to see what he can do with it.
Greg Roman calling the plays for San Francisco. Carlos Hyde in the game now. So Gore out. He hasn't been out many snaps today. Blitz coming. Kaepernick in trouble, and down he goes. Paris Harrelson, the ex-49er, with a big play.
A big play in just a huge time. You see Kevin having Frank Gore out right there. Pass protection. Carlos Hyde's a rookie. Frank Gore, there's no one better. Confusion between Anthony Davis and Carlos Hyde. Paris Harrelson comes in unblocked. Got to have Frank Gore on the field in that situation.
Well, his hand's definitely not in his pockets, as Greg Roman said about Rob Ryan. He will go out guns a-blazing, calls the blitz, it works, and now the punt from Lee goes in the end zone. Not what he wanted. Saints defense does their job. Their 3rd sack of the day, and that one a big time. 7:15 to play. 49ers 21, Saints 17. Games are done. Get you all the highlights, breakdowns from a full day of NFL action with Randy Moss, Donovan McNabb, and the rest of the experts on TV. All that plus the headlines and recaps from around the world of sports only on Fox Sports Live tonight at 11 Eastern on Fox Sports 1 and streaming on Fox
Here's
Sports
that
Go.
last play. Those two, the right tackle and Carlos Hyde, have 50 and 98. Clear miscommunication. Frank Gore on the sidelines. Don't know if it was the right tackle or the running back. But bad football, bad communication there.
And it cost them 3 sacks today by New Orleans. It's a team that gave up 14 sacks the last couple of weeks. Clearly they've played a lot better today, but that came at a huge time. 7:15 to play. Saints football at their own 20-yard line. New Orleans coming off a 10-play, 64-yard drive and a Jimmy Graham touchdown to draw within 4. Give it to Ingram. Big hole for Mark Ingram. And he has got a 1st down. And he is running hard these last 3 games. And he's now over 100 yards for the 3rd straight game. I believe the last time that happened for the Saints was 2003.
These offensive linemen are doing a fine job. You see Terron Armstead. You see Ben Grubbs, Jahri Evans, and Mark Ingram running powerfully. And exactly like Sean Payton said, he thought would happen. Those short runs become longer runs later in the game.
And they've stayed with it, John. There's no doubt about it. Stayed with the run on 1st down. Breeze over the middle. And he has a completion to Lorig, the fullback. And Eric Lorig has himself a 1st down and a gain of 13.
Right now, pretty big tell. Mark Ingram on the sidelines, likely going to be a pass. They aren't going to run Travaris Cadet. Drew Brees finding his fullback, an unlikely target. But Eric Lorig gets good yards.
Former Tampa Bay Buck was inactive the first 6 games with an ankle injury. First catch of the year. 1st and 10 Saints. Give again Ingram. And Ingram, not much there. Ray McDonald was there. Looked like Aaron Lynch came into the backfield to help mess that play up. There's Lynch. The rookie who they really like has played well. Game 2 of our doubleheader coming up. America's Game of the Week. Giants Seahawks from Seattle. Remember this 49ers defense, which has played well today without Patrick Willis again, without Dan Skuta. Borland has played well after an 18-tackle performance last week. He's got 14 tackles today. Blitz coming. Breeze backs up in trouble. Incomplete. I don't know if there's anybody there. Oh, there is. That is indeed Ingram. He was on his back, but Mark Ingram was there. So Reed on the blitz forced it.
This is a casino blitz all out. And here comes the pressure. They try to sneak Mark Ingram right there through and pop him right over that line. And Drew Brees just gets the pressure too quickly. You don't have enough people to block him right there, and the play doesn't have enough time to develop.
It's now a 3rd down and long. Saints are 5 of 13 on 3rd down today, which is 38%, which is an accomplishment considering they came into this game 3rd in the league in that area. Delayed blitz, picked up, Brees throws, great catch by Graham. He had a defender, Jimmy Ward, all over him, and Graham hauled it in for a 1st down.
Drew Brees as good as anybody in terms of pocket awareness, buying time for the play to develop. Watch him step up, find a little seam, and then find Jimmy Graham, who continues to work across the formation. Eyes always downfield.
John, you find it interesting that Vic Fangio's dialing up some more blitzes here in the 4th quarter?
I think he knows they got to get the ball back. He's trying to put his guys in man-to-man. Jimmy Graham loves man-to-man coverage.
On 1st down, they'll sling it over the middle. Ingram's got it, and Ingram's got a gain of 9 on 1st down. So these Saints are pecking away as the time ticks away. 4:21 to go in the game. This is a place where the Saints have been so good. They've won 11 straight games at home. The only team to come close or closest was this 49er team last year when they lost by a field goal.
You look at this 49ers defense, a lot of hands on the hips. I think I'm seeing a tired defense. The pounding is starting to pay dividends for the Saints.
But that time,
speaking of pounding,
Ingram got it, and Borland, who's becoming a tackling machine. The rookie from Wisconsin filling in for Patrick Willis. He's now got 34 tackles in the last 2 games.
Unbelievable. 18 was the official. They go back with the coaches. Vic Fangio told me he had 22 against the St. Louis Rams. 22 tackles, and despite all that, they would sure love to have Patrick Willis on the field right about now.
Another 3rd down. This is 3rd down and 3. Saints are on the border of field goal range, maybe a little long for Graham. Brees, 4-man rush. Brees in trouble, is going to sling it off, incomplete. Nicely defense by Wilhoit. Now what do you do? This is really, I think, too long for Shane Graham, but we'll see.
I think you got to stay out there and go for it. Like you said, you're only 3 minutes left in the game. You need 4 points. Sean Payton's going to take a timeout and think about it.
His career long for Graham is 53 yards. That was in 2009. This year, his long 50 yards. I think the Saints are going to go again on 4th. Big decision for Sean Payton when we come back.
Today's game is sponsored by the new comedy Horrible Bosses 2 in theaters November 26th.
Huge play. 3:10 to go. 49ers lead at 21-17, and the Saints going for it on 4th down again. But this is a 4th and 3. If you're wondering field goal, Shane Graham is just not a great long-distance kicker. His career high is 53, and this would be a 52-yarder. So here they go.
You got to be thinking Jimmy Graham. Here he is, down near Tremaine Brock. That's usually a matchup Drew Brees will take.
4-man rush. Brees over the middle. Posted over the middle. Breaks free. Posted all the way down to the 10. They needed 3, and they got 24.
They come down to a stack formation, run a little traffic. Again, miscommunication. Culliver goes to take the outbreaking route. Colston sits in the space, Brees delivers, and then he breaks the tackles. Marcus Colston coming up big.
1st and goal from the 10. Niners up by 4. They go empty backfield here. That's Ingram right up the middle. And he's inside the 5. He gets 6 on 1st down.
Boy, he's running hard.
Yeah, he is.
You really credit Sean Payton. He has stuck with this run. They were down at the half, and he came out, told Pam Oliver, we're going to stay balanced, and he's been true to his word. They've stayed balanced, and it's proved profitable for them.
2-minute warning from New Orleans. It's a 2nd and goal for the Saints. When we come back, they trail it 5-4. Well, it's been a spirited battle on this Veterans Day weekend in New Orleans. What you'd expect, 2 really good teams coming in desperation mode at 4-4, and we're down to the wire. 2 minutes to go. 21-17, 49ers in front, but the Saints have it. 2nd and goal from the 4. Mark Ingram's over 100 yards on the day with 108. Reed's in the gun. They give it to Ingram up the middle. And he does not get in. And now a 3rd and goal.
I think a pretty big tell when you got Jimmy Graham on the sidelines, likely going to be a run. And Jimmy Graham was on the sidelines. We'll see.
49ers call their first timeout. 3rd and goal coming up for New Orleans. 49ers were up 14-0 in the first quarter. The Saints have never led. 1:55 to play. It's a 3rd and goal. New Orleans down by 4. Breeze, blitz coming. End zone caught. Touchdown, Jimmy Graham. And the Saints have their first lead of the day. 2 second half. Jimmy Graham scores.
Boy, when you have a guy like Jimmy Graham, in situations like that, it is almost indefensible. Parrish Cox stands 6 feet. Jimmy Graham, 6'7". He's given up about 50 pounds to him. Drew Brees knows that. He trusts Jimmy Graham. He gives him a shot on a one-on-one 50-50 ball, and Jimmy Graham says, "Thank you very much. I'll take that."
Extra point is up. And it is good. You heard Pam tell us earlier the pain that he's been in with that right shoulder injury, playing through it, not sleeping, delivering his 6th and 7th touchdowns of the year today.
Parrish Cox, that's good coverage. That's the basketball player in him. He uses his backside. He boxes them out like we saw Tony Gonzalez do so often, like we see Rob Gronkowski. It's really tough. And I think at that point, I'd have someone doubling Jimmy Graham because one guy can't do it.
Think about this, too. On a 4th and 3, Drew Brees hit Marcus Colston for 24 yards to set that all up. What a drive. 12 plays, 80 yards, and so now it looks like this. San Francisco now down for the first time all game with 1:52 to go. Plenty of time. They've got 2 timeouts left. But, John, this is a game from the first minutes with the interception by the Faye and the touchdown where they looked like they were in complete control, and now it has slipped away. This really could be for them 1:52 defining their entire year.
Could be the dagger. They had them exactly where they wanted them, up 11 at the halftime. But Colin Kaepernick, it's in his hand. The fate is in their hands. The 1:52, the 2 timeouts, plenty of time. They've done nothing offensively in this second half, can they, right here?
Here we go. Carlos Hyde, rookie's going to take it out. Looking for a couple of blocks, and Hyde gets across the 20 to about the 22. So why is this game so big? 2 teams that are 4-4, because the percentage chances of making the playoffs are incredibly different. 49% if you get to 5-4, 13% if you don't. And that's number enough. And in this second half, the Saints defense has done the job. Total yards, Saints 194, 49ers 54. Here we go.
Keenan Lewis back on the field for the Saints.
2 timeouts for San Francisco. Kaepernick over the middle, Bolden incomplete. But the 4th drop today for Bolden.
Tough catch, but certainly catchable. Kaepernick tries to throw it away from Curtis Lofton, and that's a ball that Anquan Bolden typically catches.
Wow. 4 drops for Bolden. Believe that's a career high. 2nd and 10. Over the middle this time, he connects with Bolden. And they're going to mark that up around the 28.
Saints players are all saying he didn't catch that football. And I think they're right. I think they're absolutely right.
Now they're going to review it from upstairs. Now the Saints call a timeout to make sure they see it. Brilliant move. It's going to be the 5th drop.
That ball's loose and it touches the ground. That's not going to be a catch.
Wow.
Second charge timeout.
So Sean Payton calls a timeout because he wants to make sure the booth sees this and overturns it, and they will. I mean, that's a drop. Now you're looking at a 3rd down and 10.
Sean Payton upset because he had to waste the timeout to get them to review it, but he can get it back, and that was a smart timeout by Sean Payton because his players were demonstrative and letting him know they did not catch it, and Sean Payton fiery right about now.
So while they look at this, we welcome those of you who just joined us. We're here in New Orleans from the Superdome. Great game as we thought it would be. A couple of 4-4 teams. The Saints hadn't led all day until moments ago when Drew Brees hit Jimmy Graham for his 2nd score of the day. We're looking at this pass over the middle, Anquan Bolden. They should overrule this. 49ers down 3, minute 23 to go. We'll come back with a finish after this. This is going to be an incomplete pass. After the review, let's hear it from Bill Vinovich, our referee. Here he goes.
After reviewing the play, the pass is incomplete. It'll be third down on the 32-yard line. Please reset the game clock to 1 minute, 39 seconds. 1:39. Thank you.
And so a 3rd and 10 for the 49ers. They've got 2 timeouts at their disposal, but they need a 1st down with a minute 39 to go. Listen to this place right now. Third and 10. Pressure. Kaepernick steps up, fires, and it's incomplete. Crabtree in and out of the hands. And the 49ers can't catch the football at the worst possible time.
They got a case of the drops. That's a very catchable ball. Has to be caught on a critical situation like that. We've seen it from Bolden, now from Crabtree. Those are not on Colin Kaepernick.
Performance by Keenan Lewis in the 2nd half is unbelievable.
Gutty.
This is the game. 4th and 10. Kaepernick can run if he wants. Looking. Gonna fire it deep. Wide open is Crabtree. He got open inside the 30. Oh my!
What a play by Colin Kaepernick. Keeping the play alive. Keeping his eyes downfield. And Crabtree, who had just dropped the 3rd down pass, brings in the 4th down pass. What a play.
They don't have to spike it. They got time here. A minute 5, 2 timeouts, and the Saints call a timeout. What a play. Kaepernick finds Crabtree on 4th and 10.
Now here's Crabtree. Watch him stay alive as Kaepernick extends the play. You have to stay alive as a receiver. He gets lost. Vaccaro, the safety, loses the coverage. It's a 2 deep, and there's Crabtree right there. Kaepernick finds him. And Corey White touches him down. What a play by Colin Kaepernick, and great awareness by Crabtree, keeping the play alive.
Also helps that Kaepernick can throw a line drive 50 yards across his body. 51-yard completion on 4th and 10, with really the Niners season hanging in the balance.
Those are those plays, Kevin. You look back sometimes at the end of the season and say, that's the play that turned our season. We'll see if they can make good upon it. You see Jim Harbaugh getting his group up to the line. Plenty of time, as you mentioned now. 1:05 left. They still have the 2 timeouts. Fabulous by Colin Kaepernick.
They're already in field goal range. Dawson's got a great leg, so they're within range to tie it, but obviously they're thinking win. On 1st and 10. Blitz picked up. Kaepernick going far side, incomplete. Looking for Crabtree, but really good coverage by Brian Dixon. You've just joined us. This has been some game. It was a game that the 49ers led 14-0. They dominated with the run early, but then the Saints stayed with the run, and they got effective running from Ingram. A couple of second-half touchdowns from Jimmy Graham, including a minute ago for the Saints' first lead. But then on 4th and 10, Colin Kaepernick, a 51-yard bomb to Crabtree, and here we are, 2nd and 10, a minute to go. Niners down by 3. Kaepernick, all kinds of time, he throws it away. If he meant to do that or not, he was looking for Anquan Boldin.
I think that's okay. We've been talking about that earlier. Nothing open down the field, everyone covered, throw it away. Don't take the sack. Colin Kaepernick. That 4th down play, Kevin. Their season, like you said, on the line. He finds a way to make a play. And he had to trust the receivers that had dropped so many on him in this second half.
Rob Ryan's defense looking for a stand. Third and 10. And a penalty. Did he get a delay of game?
Timeout.
Just called it. 49ers just called the timeout.
Second charge timeout, San Francisco.
A rookie center making his 2nd NFL start. He's got to get the quarterback the ball, because that's a killer timeout, John.
I don't think that's on the center, though. The silent mechanics that they're doing. Alex Boone, the right guard, is tapping Marcus Martin. And Alex Boone was back looking at Kaepernick. So not on the center, on Alex Boone. And this place is maddening loud. That's something they practice often. See Alex Boone, his head back. There's the tap. But right about now, Jim Harbaugh is calling the timeout.
Well, Harbaugh saved a 5-yard penalty, which is big, because now you're very, very makeable field goal status, and you don't want to take yourself out of that. Boy, what a time for a play call by Greg Roman. 3rd and 10, you're trying to win the game, but you don't want to get sacked and get dropped at a field goal range. You want to at least tie it here.
I'm with you, brother. Keenan Lewis back off. They've been putting him in, taking him out. He's gutted his way through this second half.
Third and 10. 4-man rush. Kaepernick steps up. Looking, firing, incomplete. Looking for Boldin, and again, pretty good coverage by the rookie Brian Dixon, filling in for Lewis. And now they'll try field goal to tie it.
Well, Brian Dixon, how about this effort? Keenan Lewis, your best corner, out. You got Anquan Boldin, one of the greats in the game. And you challenge him and you come up with the play. Great job by Brian Dixon.
To be a 45-yard field goal for Phil Dawson. 14 of 18 on the year, but this is well within his range. Andy Lee is the holder. Snap a little low, but Lee got it down beautifully, and Dawson is perfect. And we are tied with 44 seconds to play.
It's a great job by Andy Lee. You talked about that snap was low. For him to place that.
Yeah, he did a good job And Dawson was perfect.
Low snap. Andy Lee gets it, stays poised. And Phil Dawson, he is money. He is very, very clutch. Never a doubt on that kick.
So on 4th and 10, Colin Kaepernick somehow finds a way to spot Crabtree 51 yards down the field. And now the 49ers have tied it up at 24 with 44 seconds left and 1 timeout for Drew Brees. Here's that big play.
You see him wind up everything he has to get that ball out to Crabtree, who really makes a fine catch, especially provided he just dropped one on 3rd and 10. And now you start thinking about 44 seconds for Drew Brees and 1 timeout. That's a lot of time.
That's a lot of time. Well, at least this hasn't been an exciting game, John. This has been exactly what we thought, right? I mean, a couple teams, and not only what we thought, both of these teams in meeting with them said this. Every person we talked to, this is going to be, you said, a bloodbath. This is going to be physical. And it's been great.
It's been all of that and more.
Still time for the Saints to pull out some heroics. Cadet thought about it, but he's going to take a knee. He brought every other one back out of the end zone. But he'll let Drew Brees operate from the 20 with 1 timeout to go and 44 seconds. You're talking about a guy in Shane Graham. Now remember, on the 4th and 3 earlier, they went for it because Graham does not have a big leg. I think realistically for Graham, you got to get to like the 32-yard line.
Career long of 53 yards.
Yeah.
So he's not a boomer. You got to get that football down there. And Drew Brees at the same time, you got to protect it. He's thrown 2 interceptions today. But a lot of trust in Drew Brees, Sean Payton has.
Now it's on Brees. Really quiet in the Superdome. Brees sets away from pressure. He's going to run it. And Brees will slide down now with the clock ticking. You got to hurry up and get back to the line. And they do reset quickly with 30 seconds to go. Brees, time over the middle. Brees got it again at the 40, but a good tackle by Bethea immediately. See if they burn their timeout. No, they're going to spike. 18 seconds. Time ticking away. Now, Sean Payton calls the timeout. So the Saints call the timeout there with 18 seconds left. That doesn't give you a lot of leeway. I'm surprised they called it. They were close to getting a chance to spike that ball.
Yeah, you watch Jimmy Graham get down the seam and Drew Brees hits him. Now, if you're going to call the timeout, I think you've got to call it right away. Sean Payton, usually the best in the business at this clock management. It has not been good. It was not good right before the half. A lot of wasted time before they decided to take that timeout. Only 20 seconds. They put 2 back, 20 seconds on the clock for the Saints.
20 seconds, but no timeouts, and you've got to get nearly 30 yards.
You got to defend the sidelines if you're the San Francisco 49ers right now, because that's what Drew Brees is looking. Get the field downfield and then out of bounds.
20 seconds to go. 3-man rush. He's got all kinds of time. He's going to come near side. Cadet in the middle of the field, though, and tackled short-handedly at the 47. 11 seconds, clock ticking, no timeouts. They're going to have to spike here. 6 seconds, Brees spikes it. So they've got one more play. That's it.
And I think you don't even attempt the field goal. Now you just let Drew Brees on the Hail Mary get the ball downfield and see if they can get it into the end zone.
Well, 5 seconds. You don't have a lot. You don't have time to run, say, a quick out, and you got one play. And so Brees will just try to hurl it to the end zone, I'm assuming. And we're 5 seconds away from overtime in New Orleans.
Confusion on the Niners side.
They're late getting backed up here. 3-man rush. Brees has time. Going to throw it towards the end zone, towards Jimmy Graham. He's got it! Touchdown! Flags are down. Did he push off? It looks like he did.
Offensive PI. They're calling it. Definitive call by the referee.
He did.
Pass interference. Number 80 on the offense.
It's a good call, John. I mean,
rule, regulation is over.
It's a killer, but it's a good call.
Watch the sales job by Parrish Cox as well. He gets pushed, but watch him sell it.
Oh, he did?
Watch him sell it. There wasn't much of a push. Parrish Cox did a tremendous job of selling it.
Wow.
And he got it as a result. A little bit of a push, but then a good dive by Parrish Cox.
You are
Smart
right.
play.
Acting paid off. Man, that was unbelievable. They just threw the jump ball to the ex-basketball star.
To the officials, look, that's what they're seeing. That's the view. They can't see the fact that he's
right. Here's regular speed. This is what they see.
That's the dive now.
You have to call it.
There's a push.
You have to.
But there's a good sales job as well.
He did sell it, but there's no way you can let that go.
I like the fact that the official was definitive. He came right in with the PI call, and it's a gutsy call in front of these Saints fans.
I mean, unbelievable. What a potential finish. Jim Harbaugh. Let's see.
Now he's got to pick those play sheets right back up because you're still playing, Coach.
How about the effort from Graham? And now we're going to go to overtime. What a wild finish in
Great
this
job
game.
so far, gentlemen. We're now in overtime. We have a modified sudden death overtime. Both teams will have an opportunity to possess the ball unless the first team scores a touchdown. Both teams will have 2 timeouts. All replays are upstairs. Fourth quarter timing rules. Any questions? San Francisco, you're still the visitors. He's called heads. It is tails. You want the ball. Which way do you want to kick? New Orleans has won the toss. Let's receive. Good luck.
So there you go. This almost ended it in New Orleans, but they called the pass interference, rightfully so, and we go to overtime. Pick up the play sheets, Jim. We're still going. And so a wild finish to regulation puts us into overtime from the Superdome. Just a great game. And really, Mark Ingram, a 100-yard effort again for him. Drew Brees coming to life in the second half. 2 touchdowns, and Jimmy Graham almost had a third to win it, but a shove off on that Hail Mary. The 49ers run game has been good today. Kaepernick made a huge play on a 4th and 10 to keep their season alive potentially. Saints won the toss though, and they receive, and Gadet will have it. They'll start it on their own if he ever takes a knee, and he will. Saints have won 11 straight here at home. 2 teams that are 4-4. And let's just refresh the overtime rules for you. Remember, Saints score a touchdown, it's over. But if they don't, field goal, the Niners will at least get possession. And John, you see it, overtime versus Saints. Last time, 1980, where the quarterbacks were Joe Montana and Archie Manning.
How about that? How about that? I tell you what, there have been some fantastic efforts on both sides. They're fighting for this win and fighting hard.
Fake to Ingram. Lynch blocked on the rush, and coming near side to Stills, who's wide open for a Saints first down. He's out to the 36-yard line. Parrish Cox on the coverage. It's a gain of 16.
We talked about the precision of these New Orleans Saints routes, the patience. That's tremendous patience. If you rush that route, Parrish Cox is not turned around. Instead, he stays patient with it, turns Parrish Cox around, and Drew Brees delivers.
First catch of the day for Stills. And a 1st and 10. That's Josh Hill in motion. Going to run it with Ingram. Ingram, vicious collision after a 2-yard hit. Preston Smith. Brooks was there as well.
Now that's a bloody run. Sean Payton said, when you play the Niners, there's going to be bloody runs. Running in to Justin Smith, that's bloody.
How about Mark Ingram? 25 for 112 yards today. And you're looking at 79 carries the last 3 games for Ingram. He has turned into the horse, and it's done wonders for the Saints. 2nd and 8. Brees near side, Stills again. So his first 2 catches of the game come in overtime. It's going to bring up a 3rd down. That's 3rd and 3. Sorry,
Kevin. Kenny Stills is a guy that Drew Brees has a lot of confidence. Only in his 2nd year. And that's really impressed me. Drew Brees, he's got a rookie in Cooks. He's got a 2nd-year guy in Kenny Stills. And he's got Graham and Colston. And very easy for Drew Brees just to trust Colston and Graham. Instead, he trusts these young receivers. He embraces them. And I think it pays off because he's a guy who can and will spread the football all over the field.
Travaris Cadet in on 3rd down and 3.
easy. 53 Miami. 53 Miami.
Well, we get a penalty now. You know, the 49ers
Could be
jumped,
on
they
the
got
Saints.
back.
The Saints didn't react quick enough.
Yeah, the 49ers got back after they jumped. It might have been Jerry Evans who popped up. Jim Harbaugh trying to get Bill Vinovich to realize that. Sort this out. So a lot of discussion here. Obviously a big call in overtime, but John, I think you hit it. Give credit to this crew. They've officiated a good game, including having the guts to call the proper penalty on Jimmy Graham on that Hail Mary.
Well, the rule is there has to be an immediate reaction. That looked far from immediate to me. The Niners jumped. Watch them. They jump. They get back. He didn't move, and now Zach Strief moves. That's not immediate.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense number 59. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Well, you tell me if this is immediate. I think it's far from it.
Yeah.
But maybe it's Ahmad Brooks, who's offsides on the other side, that draws.
It's a tough call.
Yeah.
It's close, obviously, but it's a big call. It's a first down for New Orleans. It's a huge call. And so now a first for the Saints, who are creeping closer to field goal range. They're about 20 yards away from being in Shane Graham's field goal range, which would put them up in the extra session. Breeze coming near side. Stills literally the same play 3 times to Kenny Stills, but it's worked 3 times. Cox again on defense. He picks up 5.
Well, we talked about the trust he has, and Kenny Stills has Parrish Cox. He turned him around on that first route. Now you get in a stack. You run some traffic. You run him out to the flat. Drew Brees says you can't go broke taking a profit. Chip away.
You are fully quotes today. I'm impressed.
My old guy, Brad Johnson, my old roomie on the road. He used to say that all the time.
It works in this case. 2nd and 5. They'll run it with Ingram. Good cutback. Ingram fighting forward. He's a yard shy. And so it'll bring up a 3rd down and 1 for the Saints.
Remember, field goal by the Saints. The Niners then would get an opportunity to match that field goal. Touchdown ends this game for the New Orleans Saints.
There's Shane Graham standing by, see if he gets a chance. Yeah, career long. It's back in 2009. His long this year is 50. He's had a great year, 13 of 14. Here, 3rd and 1. Fake the run. Brees throws, knocked away beautifully. Borland came in there out of nowhere. And now the Saints have gambled all day. Do they punt or do they go?
This is great football. Gets his eyes on the receiver, turns his eyes on Drew Brees, nearly steals it. If he doesn't have it, I'm not so sure Eric Reed does it. 2 young players making outstanding breaks.
This is fascinating right here. The Saints call a timeout. Each team in the overtime gets 2, but Sean Payton has gambled a few times in this game. He's 2 for 2 on 4th down, right? But think about what you're dealing with here. Your defense has played pretty well in the second half. If you go for it, keep the momentum going, you can win the game. If you don't get it, a field goal for San Francisco wins the game, and they're close with the guy that's got range of up to 56, 57 yards.
You know, I keep thinking the NFC South at 4-4, you're on top of the division. That gives Sean Payton some freedom to make a gutsy choice, because he knows, you know what, we're on top of our division. If we lose, we're not out of this. Jim Harbaugh, you're going.
That's interesting.
It's just, you know, I think there's a perspective being on top of their division because of the failure of the rest of that division gives him a little more chutzpah.
Well, he calls the timeout and then decides to punt. So Payton thought it over, and on a 4th and 1, they will punt it away. Interesting decision any way you look at it. And if 49ers scored now, would win the game. Any score. Orsted will punt it away. Parrish Cox waiting back to receive it. They may just take a delay to give Morstead a little room at this point.
You can hear from great audio from the sideline earmuffs. Don't listen to the calls. Stay on sides.
Well, so they take a timeout.
Delay game. Offense.
Why didn't they just have the offense go out and take a delay game? They burned a timeout there. I mean, interesting the way it played out. And they lost a timeout, and they give Morstead 5 more yards. So regardless, the 49ers will get the ball back with a chance to win the game. Now the Saints have had possession. Remember that play by Borland, knocking away that 3rd and 1 pass. Pressure, and Morstead, I should say. And quick Saint bouncing, he carried it into the end zone. Well, it was a great save by Nick Toon, but the ball stuck to him. He couldn't get it out to save it. And the 49ers will start on their own 20 with a chance to win.
Boy, and that's big, because remember, a field goal beats you now. Toon has the ball in his hands, now just throw it back, but he slides into the end zone. Good call by the officials.
Well, the 49ers offense in the second half had been completely stagnant, right? And then all of a sudden, 4th and 10, 51 yards of Crabtree, field goal in overtime. Now that you're in overtime, can you go back to the run, which worked so early for them?
I think you can. Yeah, I think you've worn them out throughout the course of that game. I like the run behind that left side of the offensive line. But again, you've got Kaepernick now playing with some confidence. I think because you've set it up well, you got a lot of things at your disposal if you're Greg Roman.
Carlos Hyde in the game, not Frank Gore to start it off. And Hyde gets the carry, left side, big hole. Carlos Hyde has a 15-yard gain and a first down. Just his second carry of the day. His first was a 9-yard touchdown.
There's that left side. It's not Frank Gore, it's Carlos Hyde. What a job by Staley and Vance McDonald. I tell you, this is a game-saving tackle by Raphael Bush. I've been there. Not a fun place to be, but Bush does a tremendous job bringing down Carlos Hyde.
Hyde with a little life. He's been so fresh today. And it'll stay in. McDonald in motion. Go back to that well one more time, and Hyde delivers with another good run. This time he's got a gain of 9.
And it's working, but very interesting and curious that Carlos Hyde is getting the call here in the overtime when you've got Frank Gore. Watch Staley double up to the linebackers. Upati, Alex Boone out front. This offensive line has responded. A lot of scrutiny, a lot of criticism, and they've responded exactly like a prideful group would. There's Frank Gore with Tom Rathman, the former 49er great.
141 yards rushing for the 49ers today. They've gotten back to their roots as we play in overtime. 2nd and 1. Hyde again up the middle. He's got it. He's running hard, the rookie from Ohio State. Boy, it is interesting, right? I mean, Gore, who had been the horse all day with 22 carries, now they go to Hyde. 3 straight carries, and he has the Niners out of the 47.
Well, Kevin, you were with me. We went up to Frank Gore before the game down in the end zone. He's stretching. I said, this looks like a Frank Gore game. He said, I just want to win. Whatever it takes to get a win. He's a selfless player, and that's what makes him so tremendous. But I guarantee you, he wants that ball right now.
3 plays on this drive, all runs. Gore gets it this time, and Gore doesn't get much, if anything at all. Roderick Bunkley in the middle was there first.
Kevin, we talked about Shane Graham not having a booming leg. Phil Dawson does. He's got 4 field goals of 50-plus this season alone. So a very strong leg. Not far to go for the 49ers.
Yeah, Dawson's career long is 56. He's got a 55-yarder this year, so even at age 39, he can kick it. So even if the Niners get down to the 40, they can take a shot to win it. Second and 10. First throw of overtime for Kaepernick. We're looking for Crabtree, incomplete. Had to hurry that one away. White was on the coverage, and now a 3rd down and 10.
It's a good job, really, by Kaepernick. Under duress, he stepped up in the pocket, gave himself a chance at the play, but really was just throwing that away.
Kaepernick just one of his last 8. Of course, the one was a 51-yard bomb on 4th and 10. 3rd and 10 here.
No safety in the middle of the field. Looks like Rob Ryan's bringing the heat. Look at all these guys up here.
Here they come. Kaepernick drilled. Down he goes. Ramon Humber on the blitz. You called it, John. The Saints deliver. And the 49ers will have to punt.
As I said earlier, he's a Ryan. It's in their blood. When it's at its biggest moment, they're going to bring pressure, and Ramon Humber delivers with the sack.
That came at a big time. 4th sack of the day for New Orleans. Now Andy Lee will punt it away. Brandon Cooks back deep. Lee has had an erratic day today. That is a good one. Fair catch for Cooks. And the Saints will start it off inside their own 10 after a 51-yard punt, no return. And now with 7:43 to go, a couple factors. Time could factor in, but any score wins the game.
Boy, this is an outstanding game.
Really
you really
is.
just see it. Both teams back and forth. Haymakers, as you said earlier. Just a fun game to be at and watch these guys battle.
Those of you looking for America's Game of the Week on Fox, Giants in Seattle, the primary game. Well, don't worry, it'll come up right after us. Also the Rams and Cardinals. Seattle up 7-0 and the Giants in the first. And the Arizona game is scoreless with the 7-1 Cards and the Rams. Here, 24-all in overtime. Any score wins it from here on out. Start off with the run. And run. Across the 10. He's going to get out to the 13. It's a gain of 4. Well, in the NFC South, the Saints, after their win over Carolina last week, are indeed in first place. And the South has been a down division this year. Atlanta's had an awful year after the great start, the opening day win over the Saints. Tampa has been, as you know, brutal. Carolina has been injured and erratic, and after the loss of the Saints. So New Orleans, even though 4-4, playing better, 1-2 in a row, they have some leeway. But in the West, it's a different story. 2nd and 6. 4-man rush. Breeze flushed out. He's got nothing. He's going to throw it away. Tried to come near side to Stills, but he was covered like glue by Parrish Cox, that is. And now the NFC West, John, and not only the Super Bowl champs Seattle, and they're not even totally right yet, I don't think, but Arizona's been dominant.
Yeah, and I think in this division, Arizona's been incredible. There's still a lot of football to be played. All these guys play each other again. Seattle, a lot of people think they're broken. I think not so fast. That team's got a lot of heart, and I think we're seeing the heart that San Francisco has right here. They are not done yet.
Meanwhile, 3rd down and 6. The Saints backed up at their own 13. Breeze moving around. He's got a completion again. It is Graham. How large has Jimmy Graham been in this game? 10 catches, 76 yards, and 2 touchdowns for Graham.
Again, Drew Brees' ability to work the pocket. That allows Jimmy Graham to work that single coverage. Look at the time he buys. Shift to his right, eyes downfield, finds Jimmy Graham. Good tackle by Eric Reed, but not until Jimmy Graham passes the line to gain.
Time now becoming a factor. 6:20 left in overtime.
You ready? What's up?
If there's no score, it'll be a tie. Breeze on the fake. Has time. Pump fake, and now down he goes. Quentin Dial comes in and makes the play. His first sack of the year.
Drew Brees wanted that deep ball right there to Kenny Stills. Cox does a great job. Here comes Bethea, the 49er defense all over it. And once he looks downfield, it's not there. He has to reset. There's Quentin Dial to bring down Drew Brees.
Well, that'll make it a 2nd down and 15. He certainly had the initial protection, but it just wasn't there. Cadet comes in the game at running back. They give Ingram a rest. He's more the pass catcher than Ingram anyway. 4-man rush. Breeze, pressure coming, fumble the football, it's loose, still loose. Who's got it? I think Borland may have recovered. I think the 49ers have the football. They do! Chris Borland recovers the fumble. It was Ahmad Brooks with the sack.
Watch Ahmad Brooks at the top of your screen working against Teron Armstead. He stays with it. Drew Brees has to reset. There it is.
The previous play is under review.
While they're looking at this play, it's a turnover. They will check it out in overtime. Everything upstairs. Ahmad Brooks stayed with it. Sack, Breeze forced a fumble. It's Borland, which could set up the Niners for the win. We'll be back. All right, the crew back from looking at this, and I think it's going to be a fumble.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field stands. Fumble recovered by San Francisco.
Mike Pereira from LA. Mike, right call?
Yeah, absolutely. You actually see the hand going forward, but it was the contact by the defender which knocked it forward, and the ball came loose, started rolling out of his hands right when that contact was made. So absolutely the correct call, correct decision in replay.
And Jim Harbaugh wasting no time. They're going to try and win it right here. A 35-yarder for Phil Dawson in overtime to win it for San Francisco. And Dawson hooks it home. And the 49ers with a dramatic 27-24 win in overtime in New Orleans.
It was a hook, then a slice. But it's 3 points, and it's the game winner for Phil Dawson.
Heart-stopping action from the Superdome, but the Niners cut one out. The big sack and forced fumble by Brooks. Borland recovers, and San Francisco gets the win in overtime. 27-24 your final. What a game from the Superdome. America's Game of the Week coming your way when we come back from commercial.